ready? All right, we are live. We're live.
I am ready. Yeah, we have to all do the ready up noises from MVM.
I am fully charged.
There we go. There's Ethan. Ethan's the medic.
I don't know all the ready ones.
Ethan's gonna carry the team.
There we go. Yeah, there's the easy one.
Yeah.
Today ain't your day, pancakes.
He carries the team, but he also carries himself.
He is credit to team.
Yeah, probably.
Day 2 of attempting to eat my bento box meal, and now I'm eating it because I kept forgetting to fucking bring it with me.
All right.
Shame.
Crunch. So who remembers what happened last week?
Bees. Well, not bees.
Crystal
wasps.
Bunny.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember.
Things with stingers.
New
Yes.
characters. Creepy poison furball lady. Who's probably in on the whole conspiracy thing, but we don't know for sure.
Who's to say?
The big fucking knife wound on my chest didn't actually kill me, and there's a thing on my heart.
Possibly. That is the working
It wasn't
theory.
a fatal wound.
Yes. We're trying to do a biopsy or something.
Yeah. You and Clem enlisted Maurice's assistance on that.
Yep.
And they had to put other plans into place. Let me pull up one more document here.
Yeah, we still have a couple people to talk to.
Also, I got a zoology book to try and convince Davi what animals are.
You did do that, yes.
We will teach Davi once and for all that a horse is a horse, not a dog.
Here. Okay. See if this story works.
It's supposed to go in this way.
I
I don't even
does. That's the wrong command.
I don't even know why it bothers to be two separate pieces.
Alright. Still plays long ass videos.
Wait, does it play long videos, or do you have to loop them?
So it'll play long videos like many bots. It has a time restriction. I think rhythm is 3 hours. It can't play anything over 3 hours, I believe.
Wow, what a time restriction.
Yeah.
I know, right? I mean, I only ran into it because literally for the other group that used rhythm all the time, I just went to the first extended cut of whatever music I wanted. It happened to be 10 hours, and rhythm was like, no, I can't do that.
I'm sorry, I cannot do that.
Which was like, whatever. Then I grabbed, a 30-minute one and looped it. Good old loop commands. Anyway, we ended off on Clem, and I believe she was accompanied by... Who accompanied her to the greenhouse? Was it Zeshi?
I think it was...
No, Zeshi was busy fucking around with Davi. I think it was Cedric.
No, it was Zeshi and Davi were doing something together. They were fucking around, trying to find rich.
It was Edma.
We were trying to find rich people in the trees.
Right.
It was Edma
Cedric-
because she wanted lemons.
Yeah, Cedric.
Right, lemons.
Yeah, Cedric and Clem were together, and then Edma ate a lemon.
Yeah, Cedric, I believe, is still in the house. Yeah, he said he didn't follow. Edma got her lemon, took a fucking bite out of it like a goddamn alpha male.
Have you seen that?
She's eating the whole lemon.
Have you seen that one
She's not just taking
TikTok
a
where
bite.
the dude has the lemon, he just bites into it, there's just juice everywhere. He goes, oh, I have a pen. That's kind of what I thought of.
Pretty much.
And while you guys were doing that, that was when Valile ran up with a rabbit made of crystal that was moving around.
Is it a collectible? Are you Banjo-Kazooieing us?
Yes.
Question is, what level rarity is it?
That's true. Yeah, how many of these crystal rabbits do we have to collect before we can fight the true final boss?
Only 20 in the whole realm.
The whole realm.
In your fucking face.
What is the percentage gotcha pull on this rabbit?
You want to turn this into a gotcha game, Quinn? I'm gonna make your life fucking hell. You think Genshin was bad? I'll fuck you up, son. I'll take you for everything you're worth.
Oh, he's angry.
But if we want to do Banjo-Kazooie, I don't know, it's like probably 100. Huh. Who doesn't like collectibles?
Do we get like a cool DM rap when we collect all of them?
Alright.
No, I'm not a rapper. Sorry.
That's fair.
Your reward is me not making your ears bleed with that bullshit.
I found our 100 pine cones.
Yeah.
Anyone?
I found all the golden pine cones. What do I get?
I was doing pros ED.
Yeah.
You know, I was tempted to jump to the egg bit because I knew you were.
Oh no, that was from the when you complete every side quest before fighting the final boss or something or whatever it was.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
But I can't stop remembering his egg one whenever I think of him and the collectible jokes.
Oh yeah, that one's great.
Now you have to collect all the eggs.
Can you
Now fuck you, asshole. Now you're an egg. The vehicle section's next.
Roll to the finish line, you fucking egg.
Okay. Anyway. Clem and Edma, Valile is standing in front of you, clutching this rabbit. Clem, she asked you if you guys can keep it. I believe you said if she could find a cage.
A space for it, yeah. Sure, why not?
All right, and she is going to excitedly run back towards the shop. And what about the two of you? I mean, Edma's still working on her lemon, as far as I'm aware.
Edma, darling, are you good at tracking animals?
That's an interesting
so.
thought. I'm actually a decent tracker.
I'm somewhere out in the yard. So you see the sheep. You take tree bark. You take pine cone. You take more tree bark. Then you have sandwich. And he's just gonna.
That's more exotic than any sandwich I've ever seen.
It's better when you coat it in tree sap.
That I can believe. The rest of it.
Ethan, what would you have us roll to track an animal?
Survival?
What?
Survival.
Yeah. I am actually decent at tracking. I could attempt to locate
What's your mod for survival?
4.
Mine's 5.
Oh.
I asked because I didn't have my sheet up.
I also have an ability.
You can help me.
I also have an ability that can boost my roll if I don't like it.
I don't like it. I want more.
So it still might be.
We'll go with. I'm still a little startled. I'll let you try first while I kind of like process.
All right.
Crystal animal.
Eating your herbs.
I will attempt to track a crystal rabbit.
Very well, sir. Roll.
Yes. Okay, that is a 17, and I think I would like to use knowledge from a past life to juice that.
Okay, juice away.
Nice.
Juicy.
Okay, that's a total of 20. That's a total of 22.
22. Yeah. Rabbit tracks aren't super common in Clem's backyard. There's a couple sets, but there is a particular set that is deeper than the rest, probably for obvious reasons.
What are you doing?
It leads backwards into the woods behind her house.
All right, I'll beckon for them to follow, and
I'll follow.
go along the trail.
I don't feel safe moving without hurting her.
Interesting. I haven't seen rabbit tracks this deep before, probably because of the increased weight of the creature.
You,
Which trees do you plan to follow this thing so far?
do me and Zeshi see them just kind of like, you know?
I'll
You
like,
two are-
I'll like, I'll like offhandedly like beckon to them if they want to follow, but as
Sure. You guys can hear Cedric calling for you two.
a wiggly baby.
Wiggle,
Googling.
wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Yeah, I'll go over to him. Just kind of see him, kind of looking at the ground. Cedric, you lose something again? Did your sword wander off?
No, we're attempting to find where this interesting crystal creature came from. You see, did you ever I'm completely blanking on the giant.
Yargoth?
Yargoth. Did Yargoth ever take you tracking?
Did you almost Rotha?
Almost. My brain might be a little fried.
Oh no, if Tommy's dad is Rotha, you guys have much more to worry about.
Did Yargoth ever take you tracking, growing up?
Argoth teach Davi how to track other giants.
Ah, okay. So this is the same principle, but tracking a much smaller creature. You see these little indentations in the ground, and I'll indicate the trail.
This must be a very big squirrel.
Yeah, you know, you're not entirely wrong. No,
I'm gonna walk over and say, I heard crystal creature. What exactly are you tracking here?
Did you not see the rabbit made of crystal that the little one brought back?
I don't think I did I?
No,
No.
she ran back into the house while you two were still out front.
Yeah. No.
Fair enough. It's probably you've heard the stories of magic going haywire in various locations. I presume. I'm guessing it's something to do with that. We're seeing where it came from. Maybe we can learn something about all this.
All right. Well, lead on. You got some.
So Cedric is hunting magic squirrel.
I will not dignify that with a response.
As I asked, how far into the trees do you intend to follow this?
I'll probably go for about a half an hour and then see where I am.
An hour. Okay, so you don't get too far into the trees
Oh, this goes.
when
Oh, okay. Keep going.
it's gonna, well, there's a reason you're only gonna go less than a minute into the trees, and that's because as you guys are getting into the tree line, all of you hear a shout from the house, Clem! And Valile comes running like the damned, still clutching the rabbit. And she immediately runs over to Clem, scoots behind her, and grabs onto her leg.
You coming on the hunt with us, little one?
There's a scary person at the door.
Did this squirrel get you?
I should probably take care of that first before we go crystal hunting.
I'll try to make some sort of mark, like just on a tree or something obvious, so I can locate this spot again.
At this point, Davi and Zeshi, you can see her clutching the rabbit in her arms. Well, in one arm. The other arm has a tuft of Clem's leg hair in it as she's holding on for dear life.
That is very interesting purple squirrel.
Valile, sweetheart, would you like to stay out here and hang out with my friends for a little while I attend to the scary woman?
So you say friends, and Davi's looking and go,
Stay with you.
All right, sweetie. Well, we've got to go in the basement, and I have to go speak with her. So she's going to be around for a little while. Are you sure you want to be around the scary lady?
You're there, it's okay.
I'm gonna crouch down to her level and be like, darling, I'm not sure I feel comfortable with you being around her either.
These people well enough. And I don't like the dumb bird.
Toffee
What?
won't hurt you.
I'll enter.
Bird? Where?
I'll enter after having
I'm-
lingered in the
Yeah, I'm
woods
gonna whisper,
longer
just
to
don't ask
make
him.
What'd you say about Tommy?
What? That is not a bird. He's
He's
giant.
dumb.
What's going on?
The woman I invited here that you all decided was quite unsavory, is here.
Oh,
Was wondering if you might help Valile entertain her for a little bit.
Oh, that is good. Davi can entertain this Valile. Davi will teach her giant games. It is good. Children like.
Davi, I don't know if
What?
giant games are particularly nice for a halfling.
What are you talking about? You see, Davi and this Valile are same size. Giant game perfect.
Don't hurt her.
I think I'll
Davi
help.
would not. Davi would not hurt. Oh.
I think I'll help as well. Keep an eye on things. Make sure the little one doesn't get into trouble, and I'll just sort of give a knowing, a sort of pointed knowing look. It's like,
He just
I should be
looks at
fine.
you, then at Davi and just hugs Clem's leg tighter. No.
Listen, little one. Sometimes the big giant has to go do things on their own that the little giants cannot be present for. You would learn good to understand this. It is not easy, trust me. Davi will want to stay with Yargoth all the time. But eventually, Valila, you must strike out on your own. Be your own giant.
Darling, I'd really feel like
oh wait,
you're safer out here with them.
I might have misunderstood something. Never mind. Carry on.
Even know how to open a window. Made the wasps angry.
Well,
He was mean.
Davi isn't the only one out here, and you don't have to hang out with him alone if you don't want to. You've got
I
all
was
the others.
trying to help. You told him to get rid of the wasp.
And you helped wonderfully, Davi. Except for the part where you got
Yes.
stung. I still feel very terrible about that.
Davi got to fly for a little bit, and then
Lola.
he flew into the ground.
The mark on the ground.
Huh?
I said you left the mark on the ground.
Oh, Davi left mark on ground. Was it good mark? Did it look good? It will get bigger eventually.
Like, maybe.
Valile, please. I promise I won't be long.
Oh, okay. So at this point, Davi will reach into his bag and pull out the candy, and just kind of shake it. You see this, Valile? And he's gonna pull one out. He's gonna unwrap it. You come and play with Davi and his friends. He'll give you some of his candy. It's good. Davi like it. It turned you into an ice dragon. You probably would like it.
It is good for you.
Candy is not good for you.
No.
Not in large quantities, but you can certainly have little amounts.
Davi did not know this. Okay, Davi give you one. Is that good?
Are you sure I have to stay out here? Aunt Maurice isn't even here.
I promise you'll be fine. I'll be in and out before you even realize I was really gone that long.
Stay in the rest of the room. She'll slowly let go of your leg, walk over to Zeshi, and just grab onto her coat. She doesn't look happy about it.
Zeshi has become mother.
Zeshi has become mother.
Zeshi has like a cool slash weird aunt energy. Let's be real.
She's got cool godmother energy.
Yeah.
It helps that she's already had one of Valile's beetles on her head. You
Yeah,
said a
Zeshi
child
And-
probably counts for something.
You see,
I
Cedric?
will head inside.
Zeshi went to mom's school.
Zeshi's gonna crowd down. And just like, all right, so what do you want to do?
And just told me to wait here.
We can wait here, but we could play a game. I think we should play one of Yarga's favorite games. It's called Trees and Pine Barrens. I think you all will like it. He's gonna point to Edma. How tall are you, Cedric?
I'm like probably a little over 6 feet.
Okay, so he's gonna point to Ed. How tall are you, Tyler? How tall is Zeshi?
I think I'm a little over 60 as well, probably the same size as Cedric.
Jesus,
Okay.
you're tall.
So I'll just point to all of you and go, okay, you have to be the Pine Barrens because you're way too big. And me and Valile will be the trees because we are not as big as you.
I may have misunderstood something. Cedric wants to be wherever the creepy lady is.
Oh.
So you're following
Oh,
Clem
if you wanted to
inside.
come in too, then
Yeah.
you can.
No, we can say you follow Clem.
Yeah.
Okay, and he'll just say that Zeshi and Edma have to be Pine Barrens and then him and Valile will be trees.
I don't understand how this game works.
Okay, it is very simple, you see. The Pine Barrens are trying to capture the trees.
Okay.
So, your team is trying to catch our team, and our team is not trying to get caught.
It sounds.
Very simple.
How
What?
close is Davi to me?
How close are you standing to her?
Uh,
5, 6 feet?
probably 5 or 6 feet, yeah.
I'm going to try and grab Davi. I'm going to try and catch you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see this and go, oh, the game has started. Okay.
Initial grapple check? See if Davi slips away?
Right?
Yeah, your athletics, he gets athletics or acrobatics.
Can the cat catch the bird?
I got 17.
23?
Okay then.
You make a good lunge, Edma. Unfortunately, Davi is very short. He's like a third of your height. So having to lean all the way down to get him does give him a good amount of time to skitter away before your hands can clasp around him.
You don't think Yargat has tried that one multiple times? Ha! That was his opening move.
Hey, by the way, you just see Valile just squatting down, still holding onto your cloak, and she's just staring at a centipede go by. Like, she's paying zero attention to what Davi's doing. Anyway. Clem, you and Cedric enter the shop, and Belladonna is standing in the door. She hasn't entered the room yet. Oh, you are home. Wonderful.
Apologies for the wait.
No trouble. I didn't want to enter without being invited, and it seems I spooked the child.
I would have met her in the shop, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did say
okay.
shop, right?
I think so. For
Okay,
some reason
cool.
I heard home.
Yeah, you invited her to the shop. So, that's where she'd go.
Any questions you had prepared on the way here?
Well, you weren't terribly specific with what you meant by the darker side of things.
Ah. Well, I figured any of the other ones would have told you, but I deal with collecting corpses and using them to help grow plants and researching any aspect of that. I can show you the lab if you'd like.
That would be wonderful. If I knew that, I might have collected a few to hand off.
I don't particularly take them without a lot of prior contractor. You see,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I tend to be very professional about it in order to not get in trouble with anyone.
Can I roll insight?
Oh, I understand. Insight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go for it.
21. She talking?
Okay,
she talking fresh corpses or it's self-made, or just more general vibes? Whatever you.
You're getting the vibe of generally this woman encounters corpses. The tone suggests she's probably responsible for said corpses.
Okay. Carry on.
How fresh is unfortunately vague.
Yeah. Carry on.
But of course, if they were those of people who attacked you and you know, ended up having to dispose of them, that is also perfectly natural and acceptable. I don't get them very often in my normal travels, but considering writing up a clause for it. Anyway, let me stop tittering about. I'll take you into the back. Do you mind if my friend Cedric here accompanies? He's been meaning to see my lab as well.
It's
Not why would I mind?
it's germane to my fields of interest.
Oh. In the undergrowth of life itself.
Something along those lines, yes.
I never thought I'd meet so many people like this in one spot.
Along with this conversation, I'll start leading the two of them down. I
Okay.
keep it under the house. Just because it's closer to the greenhouse.
Right.
And then I'll, take them down.
Okay. So you take them down, and what do they see exactly? How would you describe this lab?
How many of you have I shown Perfume or have seen Perfume? The movie?
I haven't seen its entirety, but you've shown me some.
The one about the dude who has a superhuman sense of smell, and then he ends up killing a bunch of girls.
Oh.
Anyway, there's a scene where he's at this like professional perfumery or whatever, and they have this huge infusion tank. And there's a part where he actually has a body in there. He covers it with whatever. So it's a mixture of like sort of a morgue where I keep some of the bodies in refrigeration, and then there are several of these tanks that are like infusing these decomposing bodies with a couple of different
Chemicals. Or
liquid materials to break them down and turn them into a sort of, the corpse juice that I use to spread all over my plants.
Cedric is thankful he can avoid smelling things.
The rest of it is more like research tables and laboratory equipment. There's a slop sink in the corner. It's really clean, and it doesn't smell too bad because everything that's actually decomposing is inside of these like tanks,
Right.
submerged in liquid. But yeah, that's about it.
This is
She'll look at a lot of the tanks. Fascinating.
I've used different chemicals in the past, but these ones seem to be the kindest to their natural decomposition, as well as retaining all of the nutrients released from such. Doesn't smell as bad once I end up putting it in the bottles either. And she holds up like a little spray bottle.
I find it best to try to keep scent out of the equation as much as possible.
It can be a pain. It was definitely a pain in the beginning before I invested in these tanks. She'll, like, tap one of them.
Do
Oh,
you
I'm sure.
do you also work with cadavers frequently?
Myself? No. Unless you count their occasional creation. But that's not common.
Is that
Fair
related?
enough.
Is that
Not by my hand. I can't be responsible for my customers.
that have to do with the poisonous accoutrement you have on your person?
Observant one for somebody who walks in such a stilted manner. Yes.
I know some things.
Oh, I've taken a keen eye to your flora.
And she just plucks one
Fascinating.
of the mushrooms off. Oh, these little things. Yes, they're wonderful to keep just a couple on hand.
You know, in
You
a
never
sticky
know.
situation, I use a similar form of protection, if you will, but instead of having the actual objects around, Man, what are you doing? What are you doing? What? What? Oh,
Someone wanders in and just walks back out.
Lola brought her favorite toy over here and it makes a shit ton of noise, so. And she keeps going under my chair with it so I don't feel safe moving the chair to try and get at her. Yeah. Anyway, mine manifest more as the viney flower type than mushrooms per se.
Poisonous vines, you say?
Of a sort.
Hmm.
And she'll like hold her hand out and a little vine and flower will come up.
Ah, yes, I've seen this species before. It's quite lovely to look at.
Quite deadly to breathe in. Luckily, I have a little more control over this one than I would any natural sort.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. Don't want people just randomly consuming something that could kill them in an instant. She just kind of looks at the single mushroom in her hand and just pops it into her mouth.
Is that one of the poisonous ones?
Yes.
I see you've grown a tolerance for it yourself.
Oh, yes. I can't be in a position of my own business and not invest in that kind of immune system. My competition would try to, have me go to my own samples, shall we say.
That would be quite an ironic way of being dispatched.
It would, which is why I've taken lengthy precautions against it.
Although I have to admit, if I were to die, I'd rather be planted underneath my orchard like I do other subjects.
On the off chance I ever see your death, I'll keep that in mind. But I
Appreciate
highly
it.
doubt it would come to that.
I wouldn't imagine anyone poisoning me.
Well,
Except
Not
maybe
I.
Gash.
the old god, Captain.
Yeah, she doesn't have a particular liking to me. It's all fine and good. She does her job just fine. I just wish she would stop bothering me about mine.
Oh, you know how judgmental some people can be if you offend their sensitive sensibilities.
I mean, I understand. Death isn't exactly a subject easily broached. The problem arises when, well, you've had plenty of chances to understand and get used to it, and yet you continue to ignorantly push against everything that they are.
Yes, I've met her bullheaded type. Not
You have one of
exactly
your
the
own?
most- Oh, no, not a particular one, but travel around to enough cities, towns, and villages, and you'll find your fair share of people who hear you're a poison seller, and suddenly they've got the pitchforks.
Well, like you said, your kind of business can't be constantly held responsible for what your customers do.
That's quite true, and
Thank
I
you.
don't feel exactly bad about dealing with some of the more aggressive, bullheaded people.
Yeah. I avoid Gash like the plague, and whenever I get a client or a client's family member that ends up becoming more aggressive, I'll just shut it down and walk away.
It gives you that much trouble, huh?
Sometimes, occasionally. I had a client actually quite recently. The entire family wanted me to take their family member, but they sent the one family member that didn't want me anywhere near them. And boy, was that uncomfortable.
I'm sure. Well, perhaps your guard captain problem will disappear in time.
Oh,
Should
like I
she-
said, she does her job well.
Should she retire, of course.
Of course.
Retire normally.
Or illness, but I do
Well,
find
we
it rather
are a
hard
town full of illness.
Yes, but I would find it terribly hard to pass away of a common illness in a town full of medical professionals.
I swear everything this lady says is like a glaring red flag.
Yeah?
And Cedric is just like...
I mean, you want to pull insight again?
I mean, he's just doing a gargantuan effort to just look completely passive and just not react.
It's got tiny mushrooms, oh my god, marshmallows. He's got big and little ones. He made me hot chocolate.
How sweet.
Literally.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the lab. Would you like to see the memorial garden? I have a stonemason come out every month and carve new names into the plinth.
I'd be honored.
I'll lead her out that way.
Okay.
I'll pretty much probably just end up leaving her there and being like, I have other business to attend to. Feel free to, like, traipse around here if you'd like.
No, I wouldn't dream of taking up more of your time, but I appreciate the small tour and information.
Anytime.
She'll pluck another mushroom off and extend it to you. As my thanks. Don't consume it.
I have no plans on it, but it would be interesting for testing for sure. Much appreciated.
Yeah. And, keep out of reach of the little one.
Oh, absolutely.
I've taken up enough of your time as is. Thank you again for your hospitality, and perhaps I will see you around once more.
Perhaps. Till then.
Until our paths cross, little death dweller. And she'll walk off.
Once she's out of earshot, I'll just say, do you think it was wise to give her so much personal information?
How so?
The sense I got from her is she would have no issues whatsoever poisoning anyone or anything she deemed as a threat, potentially even an inconvenience.
Potentially. But Gash isn't a threat. She's just a nuisance.
Well,
And she's a nuisance to me, not her.
true. I'm just I get a bad sense about that one.
Well, Cedric, many people tend to get a bad sense about people like us, so I'll extend her the benefit of the doubt until she gives me a reason to directly
Suppose
be
that's fair.
suspicious of her.
Suppose that's fair.
Thank you for accompanying me, though. You did make me feel a little more comfortable
I was mostly
being alone with one such as herself.
I was mostly wanting to get a sense of her business, what her interests were, and if they held any relevance to my situation. Who knows?
What did you think of the lab?
I'm
I'm curious.
Interesting. I mean, I'm not sure what exactly I expected. But it's clear that you have expertise with these matters.
I wouldn't say expertise. Still learning a lot every day.
I'm sure even the foremost experts would say similar.
You'd be right in that matter.
But I feel, I don't know, that I was right to trust you with this. Just sort of gesturing at myself.
Right. You go against anything I've learned or believed in the last, well, entirety of my research life. However, I don't take it as offense, I take it as a challenge. What are you? What makes you tick? How did you come to be this way? All within the means of your comfort, of course. I would not risk that for anything.
Well, I ask myself the same questions on a daily basis, so hopefully we'll together come to the answers.
Hopefully we will. Now let's get back before Valile ends up in some sort of coughing fit because Davi decided to wrestle her.
Yes. We
You say that, and Davi rounds the practically cartwheels around the corner with Edma chasing in tow.
Got to try harder than that if you want to catch this tree.
Dude.
Weird as that sounds, I will
Catch this tree?
Yes,
Davi, what are you playing?
We're playing trees and pine barrens. Tavi is tree, Edma is pine barren.
You know trees don't move, right?
Do trees run where you're from, Davi?
Obviously, you've never been a giant that picks up the tree. Thought, Cedric. Get your head out of the sand.
Noted. So, in that case, would you not need a player to be the giant who's throwing the trees?
But everyone in the game is a giant.
Of course.
But you just said you were the tree.
Davi is the giant with the tree, and Edma is the giant with the pine barren. But it's not a complicated game, guys.
It sounds pretty complicated to
Have
me.
you stopped to talk to them?
Are you still cartwheeling
I
around?
am going to try and grab you again.
Fair enough.
Great.
Grapple check.
10 out of 10.
Edma sees her chance. With a flick of the tail, she pounces.
22?
I have 23.
Oh!
So, Edma lunges in, arms swinging. Davi, possibly a little too cocky after this many dodges, jumps up and lands in the other hand.
Yeah, so she pounces on me. Ha! You think Davi wouldn't see that coming? All he has to do is step to the side and whoa! Oh, you got me.
Pulling you up. I win.
Yeah, I guess you do win, Edma. Good job. You win.
You've proven yourself the greatest tree hunter among us.
No,
Congratulations.
not a tree hunter. A giant hunting. Well, no. Big giant hunting small giant wielding small tree. This is what she is.
Oh, my mistake.
It's very important, it's very different. Gosh, Cedric, trees don't move.
And yet you won't listen to us when we try to explain the difference between animals.
You're going to go on about this horse dog thing again. I know you're all in on it.
In on what? Being educated?
Yes.
Davi, when will you
This
see...
education thing that you talk about. Clearly there is something wrong with it.
So, Davi, here's an interesting question. Would you? So there are. Do you know what books are?
Books. Books. Can I eat this?
No, they are tomes of knowledge, information compiled into text, that are stored by individuals in society. To do you know how to read, Davi? Let's start with that.
He knows how to read. He knows how to read your face. And that your face says you know the trees don't move.
Forget about the trees. That's not. Do you know how to read text? Words on. I'll just like take. Do I have some sort of writing utensils on hand, like a quill or something?
Yeah, you've got basically the equivalent of a pencil on you, just without the eraser.
I'll just find a surface and I'll just write like the letter A on it. I'll say, "Do you know what that is?"
The letter A, Cedric. Come on.
All right, you do know how to read. So books are things you can read, essentially.
But why would you want to read the book, Cedric?
Because they give you knowledge, information.
And what is this knowledge good for?
Just about anything. There are books on all manner of topics. Famed researchers use them.
So is Cedric like crouching down to tell him this?
Sure. Oh.
So he's just gonna put a feather up to his just. That means that if the books have the knowledge for Davi to get the belt, you said all things, all the knowledge.
Potentially.
Give Davi book.
Okay, so different books have different information. That information.
Cedric, give Davi book.
I do not have a book with that information. It would be hard to find, but that would be one potential. Books on lost legend lore you would be potentially be able to find. You could go to the library in town and look and ask if they have any books on legendary artifacts and their fabled locations.
Wait, Cedric. What if he were to read through all the books in order to find the information? He would learn things along the way.
I have a book on animals I took from the library.
Yes, tell him.
Okay. Also, here tell you what, Davi, would you like to see an example of a book? I happen to have.
Show Davi this book.
I'll take out the book on zoology. So this book is an explanation and listing of all the various animals that exist. Diagrams, pictures, and their names. I'll flip to... What's an animal that Davi has correctly identified, first of all? Have there been any? I'm trying to think.
One. Bears.
Bears, yeah, of course. So I'll flip to bears first and show him. So here...
It is bear.
It is bear. You can see
Davi like to wrestle those. They're fun.
Yeah, so you can see scientific diagrams and explanations. And here, I'll flip to dog. Is this?
You're gonna squint at it. Cedric, I think somebody wrote this book wrong.
Cedric, I mean, Davi, this book was written by learned individuals who know what animals are.
Oh no, I don't know, Cedric.
I am aware you respect Yargoth's knowledge above all else.
Davi, they got bears right. How could they possibly get anything else wrong?
Well, bears are the easy one. Look, between you and me, Cedric, Davi knows that the horses are up to something. They're plotting, planning. Can't trust them.
I'll flip to horse.
Why do you show Davi this dog?
I'll point to where it says horse.
Clearly, whoever wrote this book did not know the difference between horse and dog, Cedric.
Show him an ox.
Why would Cedric need to show me an ox when you are out here?
It's just
I'm on the ox page.
Davi, if you can't learn to trust what's in books, how can you trust that if you ever do find the book that tells you where your belt is, that it's telling the truth.
This picture, it bears striking resemblance to Edma. He's big, she is big. He's muscly, she is muscly.
Does she have horns?
Well, maybe they haven't come out yet. Maybe she's a slight bloomer with her horns.
Davi, that's not how that works.
Davi,
Maybe
Yargoth is a great individual, but nobody knows everything. Not even Yargoth.
he's gonna turn around with his back to all of you. Okay, Stick. You're trying to convince us that dogs, horses are dogs. What do we do? Davi, these people are becoming your friends. You must trust their judgment. You must listen to them. They only want what's best for you. They have not led you astray yet. Why would they do so now?
Cedric's gonna look at them like...
It is good point, Stick. But this is what Yargoth say. Well, Yargoth live on mountaintop, and perhaps his mind is old and wavering. You have to think, these minds are fresh. They have been around, they have seen things that you and Yargoth have not seen. Perhaps maybe it is time that you trust him. Eh, Davi? That is good point, Stickbird. Okay, Davi will do it. For Cedric.
Stickbird is apparently Stickbird is the wisest of all of us.
And then he'll turn around. Okay, Stickbird thinks that Davi should trust you in this book. So give Davi book, and Davi will try his best to learn this.
The only thing to keep in mind is we cannot take this book outside of the town. It must be returned to the library before we leave.
He knows how to borrow things.
Very good.
What do you think? Davi was raised in cave? Well, actually, Davi was raised in cave. Ha! That is knee slapper. Ha!
My only point is there's probably some sort of magical enchantment on it that will go off if we try to take it out of town, so extra careful.
Oh, okay. Davi will take good care of it.
I'll hand it over.
So, you all start to hear a faint buzzing,
Oh no.
Is it?
and rounding the corner, no longer holding onto Zeshi's cloak, is Valile, who now has a beehive.
Oh, for God's sake.
Why didn't you bring that over here?
Is Mean Lady still here? She didn't hurt you, did she?
Phoebe.
I brought friends.
Phoebe, you're muted.
Are you taking that to the apiary?
Just gonna throw it at her.
Going to throw a bee's nest at
The
somebody?
scary lady is gone. She was actually quite nice. A little creepy, but quite nice. Please take that to the apiary before Davi gets stung anymore.
Those are wasps. These are bees.
That
These are
doesn't
less
mean
aggressive.
anything, sweetheart.
Do the bees
But
have
they're less
something?
aggressive.
Do the bees have something that the wasps do not?
Honey.
What is this
Well, they
honey?
don't have
you speak
honey.
of?
They make honey.
Can
Well,
Davi make this
Once
honey?
they make it, they have it.
No.
No, only bees can. Davi, have
What?
you really never had honey before?
No, honey does
You
not
wrestle
grow.
bears all the time.
You know,
Honey does not grow on trees, Clem.
Well, beehives often hang from trees, so if you want to be simple about it, then yes, it kind of does.
Davi,
No.
there might be information on the honey making process in the book you now carry in the bee
Well-
section.
But how can the bees grow in the trees if the rich people already grow in the trees?
Maybe the bees.
Rich
are
people
the
do
rich
not grow in
people.
trees.
The bees are the rich people! And he's gonna start pointing at the beehive. I know you have 1 million platinum in there. You give it to me. You give it to Davi.
They are bees, not rich people.
Two
Stop
steps-
it, Davi.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Valide, please take it to the apiary. I really do not want him to get stung anymore.
Or because he'll absolutely try to wrestle the beehive if we give him long enough to go through his mental process.
Yes.
Letting him get stung. He doesn't get to wrestle my
Still
friends like
holding
that.
Avi?
Davi
Yeah.
will wrestle the beast for 1 million platinum.
No.
Bees
I'm
don't
going
have
to go-
meat, Dumbo.
I'm going to go into the woods with my friends and try and figure out where that crystal rabbit came from.
Quite.
You
The
can
rabbit
keep an
that she
eye
is
on
no
the
longer
shop.
holding.
Yeah, where is that?
Huh?
Where did the rabbit go?
Put him in the greenhouse so I could get the hive. I lost track of Coffee. Oh, there she is. I found Coffee Lady again.
Coffee lady?
She just
Probably.
points at Zeshi.
Is that she? Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, she wouldn't do anything until you gave her the coffee.
her name is Zeshi.
The coffee ran out. I'm sorry.
Coffee machine broke.
Coffee machine broke.
Which means Tyler also broke.
I feel that, man. You gotta keep it in steady supply.
Perhaps we go and find where this crystal squirrel came from. I mean, the rabbit.
Yeah,
Where the rabbit came from.
same family of creatures, so you're not too far off, but yes.
Do you think that they have any crystal raccoons out in the woods?
They might. That's
That's what we're trying to find out, actually.
Davi would love to
Let's
tell
go.
Yorgoth about all these crystal animals. He'd probably have a laugh about
Do you
it.
want any honey for the trip?
Oh, Davi would like honey.
give it to Dobby. He's never had it before. I'm a little concerned.
It's very sweet.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Oh, I know. I'm concerned. He's never tried honey, and he likes candy this much. Bees is a very, very good positive
I mean,
reinforcement.
the candy is pretty good, but what could be better than candy, Clem?
Honey.
You
He's
think
gonna
honey?
look at you, Dobby. Only because Clem said so.
Clem, you do realize
She's just gonna reach into the beehive and feel around for a second, and then just pull out a handful of honey and offer it.
Clem, you do realize he's probably going to be attacking every beehive they come across now.
So Davi's just gonna look at this, her hand, and he's just gonna
Savor it.
Davi would like more, please.
Bees only have so much.
All in good time, Dobby.
Okay, Davi understand. Davi will have more later.
You can also buy honey in shops.
Wait, you can buy honey
There is
You can buy honey from
bees?
there, not from the bees, but there are people who harvest the honey and then sell it in markets.
So in any general store, you could likely just get honey. Just like you got your candy.
Because not everybody wants to get it from the source and deal with the bees themselves. So they
So
let
people
other
contract the bees to sell their honey to their shop so they can sell it to people like Davi?
The bees
what-
just make the honey. People sell.
Wait, what's wrong with the bees?
There's
What's wrong? What's
Well-
wrong with dealing with bees?
Well, some people are more hesitant to risk getting stung. That's all.
They're
some
nice,
people
and-
are scared of them.
They're nice, and she's gonna reach in, pull out like not a full handful of bees, but a couple bees in her hand, and she's gonna hold them up as high as she can to Cedric. See, they're nice.
Not everyone has the same gifts you do. They
if-
freak out, and then the bees freak out, and then, well, you, of all people, should know what happens from there.
For those of you paying attention, if you look closely, when she does that, Cedric flinches a little.
And for all we know, Cedric could be deathly terrified of bees.
Some people are allergic to them, and they could die just being stung by one.
Cedric, would you die from a single bee sting?
No, I would be perfectly fine from it.
Oh, okay.
Although
Well,
I wonder.
You the Davi know if something would kill you like that, right?
Of course, Davi.
Oh, okay. This is good.
I
Cedric-
don't think he could tell you if he's dead, Dobby.
Why? Did Cedric
No.
get stung by a bee and die and come back to life?
Who knows, honestly? I
Must have been a really big bee.
What do you? Shall we go look for a crystal rabbit? We can.
Yes, I would love to.
Excellent.
Are you a zombie, Cedric?
Do you want me to
He's
keep the
not a
shop
zombie.
closed today?
That would be preferable, but if it's anyone we regularly deal with, feel free to let them in.
What if Scary Lady comes back?
She won't.
Promise?
I promise. She was quite respectful of that, at least.
Okay. She's gonna just insert the bees back into the hive and start walking off and break into a coughing fit.
And take your meds.
Cedric,
Yes, Clem.
Cedric's muscles unclench.
Oh, thank God.
Cedric, really, are you allergic to bees?
Cedric, you're pretty tense. Do you have to poop?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine.
Leshy, I think Cedric has to poop.
Shall we get going?
Let's get going. I'm gonna just start walking off in the direction we left off.
Yeah, Cedric still got the trail marked, so.
I swear we're gonna get in the middle of the woods and it's just gonna be like annihilation.
Yes.
It's gonna be the what the hell's that rabbit? A rabbit from Monty Python. I can't remember.
Oh, the
White
killer
rabbit.
rabbit.
What?
It is the rabbit.
No, dude, we're gonna get into the middle of the woods and just spine rip her.
What are you doing?
Okay, so according to players, we have the Wall of the Shimmer,
Probably.
inside of which is a killer rabbit, and
Don't even
they
get me
said nothing.
started with the fucking alligator from that movie.
I usually hear about the bear.
The Sharkagator. Oh, the bear's a fucking token thing, but the Sharkagator was pretty fucking horrifying too.
Wasn't there one, a really bad horror, like, sci-fi movie, Octo Shark or something?
What?
Sharktopus, that was it.
Sharktopus, it was Sharktopus.
Fucking stupid.
There was also Ghost Shark.
Oh, God.
I think there was also, like, Sand Sharks. There's a lot of bad shark horror movies.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
say.
I do say.
Sharknado?
It's true.
I mean,
Well, Sharknado is more
not
camp.
a horror film, but it is in there. Fun
You
fact.
can't tell me a tornado full of sharks isn't horrifying.
In theory, it is. The movie doesn't present it as such.
yeah.
Like, yes, that would be a horrifying thing to see, but
What?
within the context of the film.
Pretty sure all the sharks would just die in the tornado anyway.
Well, it depends on how much water it picks up and how long they're in the air
Are
for.
we scientifically analyzing Sharknado right now?
Sure,
Weren't
but
we
fun fact,
playing D&D?
actually, the keynote speaker at my graduation was one of the guys who worked on Sharknado. He's
You're
a
fucking
Rowan
kidding.
alum.
Oh my
Not
god.
kidding.
That's-
One of the
that's amazing.
directors of, one of the creative directors at Sci-Fi is a Rowan alum, and he talked at the keynote for the College of Communication and Creative Arts graduation.
Amazing.
And he went on to make fucking Sharknado.
He worked at Sci-Fi and helped make Sharknado.
Which one? Which
Great.
one? What are those?
I actually don't know if he
Imagine-
worked on any of them past the first.
Imagine
to look
being
it
able
up.
to put that on your resume.
You think Sci-Fi is gonna let him go?
Yeah.
Oh no, they want him around. But yeah, so
Anyway.
that was extra funny because the guidance office for the RTF department, because of that alum, they've got a Sharknado poster signed by him, so I always saw the poster whenever I needed like to go to the guidance office for something.
Sharknado.
Always remember Sharknado.
I think that's funny.
Anyway, you all begin traveling into the woods, following the trail, and within 5 minutes, What's everyone's passive perception?
12.
13.
14.
All right, let's keep going. Tyler,
Yep, I'm going.
what's your passive?
What's your
What's your
passive
passive perception?
perception?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. I'm falling asleep here. I'm sorry.
You
Pass.
good, my dude?
12.
All right.
I don't know. I just crashed all of a sudden.
Yeah, you might want to sit up then. Lying down is going to exacerbate the issue.
Yeah,
RJ, do me a favor. Go to the Toddbot channel, type !FS.
Exclamation point FS.
Yes, that's the force skip, so we don't have to bother voting. I still don't have the permissions for it.
Oh, my bad.
That's alright, I forgot to bring it up.
Ice Dungeon.
Speaking of which, I still need the footage from that past session.
All right, guys. Any more requests?
Yes.
Do a backflip.
Do a barrel roll.
I was gonna say give me your best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, but you got that 2 for
Yeah.
1.
Anyway.
Anyway, you all start to notice, these crystals growing along the trees and along the ground. They're only... The biggest one you see so far is the size of a golf ball, and they only appear every so often. And they're these little purple crystalline structures with some black in them, and a bit of red.
Can I try and pick one up?
You just
You
gave...
Want to pick it up.
You explode. Take one down.
Probably I
What
wouldn't
every,
touch
what every DM wants to hear. I touched the weird thing.
No, I didn't say I touched it. I asked if I can pick it up.
Can you pick it up
that
without
requires
touching
touching it.
That
I can
implies...
try and take. I can take the head of my axe and dig it into the ground and try and scoop it up that way.
That's a little
Would
more
Dobby do
specific
that, or are you
touching
doing
it
that
up.
because I asked?
Well, that's the thing. Is like, are these things firmly planted in the ground? It's like, yes,
Like
I
they're
took.
coming from the ground and the trees.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would probably start by poking at it with one of his. Well, he has a great. Well, he's a stick branch is a great club. You probably poke at it with his great club.
Yeah, nothing happens to the stick.
Okay.
Davy, I'd be careful. You saw what happened to that rabbit. We don't know how, but let's try and keep our distance from these things for now.
Could I take the great club and try and smash the crystal?
Oh.
You can try. Roll me an attack.
My inner player and inner DM are like completely at odds right now.
I've been... I'm pretty sure every DM in this group has been there at some point.
Yes. Yes.
19?
19. You give this thing a good thwack, and the end of the crystal where it comes to a point just sticks a little bit into your club.
These crystals are very hard.
Sure.
I'll just pull the club out and put it away.
Okay. What'd you say, Tyler?
So it sure looks that way.
Okay. Okay. Continuing onward, you come to a clearing that has a pathway leading off it, and in the area, they scatter as soon as you walk into the clearing, but there's a couple more crystal rabbits who all scatter about.
Huh.
Alrighty then.
Well, that immediately tells us something.
More.
Do you think that the squirrels were eating the crystals?
Rabbits. Davy, rabbits.
Right. Rabbits.
Either that or the entire area got hit with some sort of magical anomaly or something. Perhaps everything in the area was affected.
Everything got turned to crystal?
Or, I don't know.
Well, we won't find out what until we investigate more, so I suggest we go see if there's any parts where the crystal's thicker.
Yeah, find the center, perhaps.
Perhaps. Can we gauge where it gets a little denser from here, or?
What the fuck kind of check would that be?
The crystal or the forest?
The crystal.
The crystal.
So the crystal is still popping up fairly infrequently, and it's staying about roughly the same size at the moment.
Okay.
At least the individuals.
We can't see anywhere that it starts to pick up, like in any direction.
Through
Not
the
from
forest?
Not from this forest clearing. It's like a round clearing and then thins off to still an open pathway,
Okay.
which looks like it has a couple offshoots to it, 3 to be precise.
Well, I suppose we should pick a direction. Keep going. Keep an eye. See if the crystal gets thicker or thinner, and adjust accordingly. Of course,
I
we're,
smell an adventure.
of course, we're
Sounds like a
operating.
plan.
We're operating on the assumption that there is a point that this will have a center where it gets thicker, but
Well, we won't find that out unless we continue investigating.
Perhaps if we chase the rabbits, they will run to it.
The rabbits. I don't think that being crystal makes them any
Reliable.
smarter.
we'll call that a plan B.
Sure. Plan B.
All right, we'll pick a direction. Start following it.
And what are we thinking? Left, right, or straight ahead?
Start straight ahead. You think?
Straight ahead. For now.
Right ahead, let's go. Pull forward.
Yeah, that's fine.
Feel like this is. Feel like we need some Lost Woods music or something.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
You know, I was tempted.
Do, 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 do. We get too much of a hint from that. We all know Zelda a little too much.
So going straight, you do notice off to the right, because it opens up into another large clearing. The left clearing, or at least the path, stretches on for a bit, and the crystals you see along that path seem roughly similar. Though there is... The left path comes up first. There is a couple of rabbits surrounding... It's hard to tell from here. But a couple of them are like huddled around a thing.
I want to go investigate that real quick.
Okay. So as you go to investigate, the rabbits pause, look at you, and all scurry off, leaving behind what looks like a crystal apple with a lot of bites taken out of it.
I'm gonna look up.
That's not growing on any of these trees. The only ones growing here are the little golf ball ones.
Crab apples.
Pocket with his stick.
About the size of a normal apple, so probably about the size of Clem's fist.
Sure, I'd poke it with a stick you don't particularly love.
It gets poked. It doesn't react.
So
I should say the apple has more of a traditionally red coloring to it with a bit of...
Davi's gonna pull his axe out and go, okay, Davi will cut this apple.
I'm gonna stand back.
I'll stand back as well.
I'll do it, yep.
All right, give me another attack. One. Okay, so the
Technically,
old,
it's a 6, but just 1.
the old nat 1, mod 6. All right. Okay, Davi, you decide it's a good idea to line this up. It's a small target, so just hayat. Hayat.
Yep, exactly
It
what
just
I was thinking.
flies out of your hands. It doesn't get close to anyone, thankfully. It just digs into the ground directly behind him.
That's exactly what I was
But as he
thinking.
goes to take a swing, it's just like, huh.
Where did the glass master go? It was right. Oh, there it is.
Oh my god, it can repel attacks.
Oh my god, you're right.
Okay, Torval.
Great Torval.
I was,
So I'll,
No,
I'll grab the axe and
no, see,
I'll
Torval
try
would have
and-
meant that. Cedric was being deadpan.
sarcastic. He'll just grab the axe from behind him and try and just hit it again.
Give me one more.
19.
You know, for the sake of comedy, I was really hoping you were going to say Nat 2. 19.
Well, hi, Kitty.
So, you find your target, it lands in. It gets in there, but it doesn't manage to actually cut an entire piece off, but it does manage to dig into it.
So is this apple now stuck on my axe?
A little, not really. The inside's still crystal, so it'll slide off after a second.
Okay.
It's a pretty clean cut.
This is pretty hard stuff. I wonder how those rabbits were able to just chew on it.
Probably because they were made of the same stuff.
But what do crystal rabbits drink?
Crystal water?
This is getting stranger and stranger.
It is. Shall we continue on?
Do the rabbits breathe crystal air too?
Well, they're breathing the same air we are, and as far as I can tell, it's not crystalline.
If
far
you
as I can
start, if it
tell.
starts to feel like you're inhaling something sharp, probably let us know.
You sniffing my toe? Are you a toe sniffer? Are you stinky toe sniffer?
Okay.
Come here. Come here.
Do you guys want to continue down this path? You can kind of see down it. It continues for a little bit. Doesn't seem like very long. There's a couple more apples strewn about.
Is there any sign of the crystal getting denser or less so?
The only difference down this path is there's a couple more of those apples. All in various stages of being eaten.
I'll take a you know the Indiana Jones where he takes the bag and can I take a sack or something and put it around one of these apples and tie it up?
Actually, if depending on if those things are safe, they could fetch a pretty good price at market. Crystal is
Well,
considered.
let's figure out whether they're safe or not first before we
Sure.
start picking them up. And
Yeah, you can do that without much trouble.
So he'll just
Point being,
well.
could be a good head start on that, on the million platinum you're looking for.
So Davi should pick up as many of these as possible.
Not yet, Davi. We have to make sure they're safe. You can't sell things to people that will kill them. Unlike the poison lady.
What if we sell all of these to the poison lady and she eats them and she dies?
That's murder.
But is it really murder if she's the one that put it in her mouth?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we gave it to her.
I'm sorry, I
Two points in
just had in my head, Father, I need you to unmurderize him.
God damn it.
I can never
Father.
escape. I can never escape.
It's so
Oh,
good.
classic.
Father, he's in the foyer.
No!
Father!
Father, pay
It's
money.
All space and time.
We're all just sitting there in the woods and we just hear that like echoing throughout the trees.
And in a very, very far off land, Reese
Reese-
gets the tiniest migraine.
No, over at the tavern in Prosperity.
Yeah.
So what do you mean it's about a man that got murdered and was put in a foyer and your dad had to pay money to bring him back?
You keep asking me questions, Bone Man.
Anyway.
I've got a headache. Go away.
And and the tavern's suspiciously clean, and there's a new Arakocra there. And maybe
It's like glaring at Reese, like looking down at some dirt on his shoes, just like, you son of a bitch.
Just like the small. Oh god, because it's just fucking passive perception. Just sees the smallest dirt.
just like kneels down next to Reese, pulls out tweezers, pulls one speck of dirt off.
What is it? Who's that? It's IL. Why are you scared? He cleans things to unreasonable standards.
Actually, Tyler, you might find this funny. IL did make a cameo in a story I sent to Phoebe.
Oh, really?
Yes, because one of the characters involved was a chimney sweep who would go into the chimney and didn't usually bother to clean himself, so he wandered into the tavern, covered head to toe in soot, and now literally burst out from the back going, "What have I told you about tracking soot?"
Can confirm this did actually happen. It was hilarious.
That sounds hilarious.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Check that one with the rest of the game.
as you're all pondering the possible worth of these apples, Davi, you hear the familiar sounds of bear roars down the way.
Uh-oh.
Bear?
And groaning.
I hear a challenge.
Uh,
He's gonna make his best bear imitation roar back.
are we about to find a
Pretty
crystal?
good.
Are we about to find a crystal bear?
That could be interesting.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, but that is
It's
interesting.
could be dangerous. Here, take this.
Hmm.
Take this.
Are we? Well, what do you think? Are we going in that direction?
Davi is going in the direction of the bear.
I guess that's a yes. Let's try not to let him get himself killed.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Guess we're chasing after the bear wrestler.
Right. You all follow Davi, who ends up going down what was the right path. Now it's straight ahead. And you actually see a stone building here, but it's overgrown with vines and much larger crystals.
Thanks music for this.
This is not bear. This is
Uh,
building.
There could be.
Davi cannot wrestle this.
This is why you gotta let me finish.
Oh, I see.
There's two large blue crystalline bears sitting out front, pawing at the door.
Oh, okay.
They
Well,
blended
what
in.
to say? He saw the building first and then looked out. Oh,
he's-
here are the bears.
They looked like the big crystals that were growing on it. That's why.
Took a second to recognize the bear shapes.
If Davi confuses purple and blue, which isn't unfair, then sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys can take the bear on the right. Davi will take the bear on the left.
I'd rather speak to them first before wrestling them.
You can speak to bears?
I can speak to animals if I wish to, yes.
Can you speak
Is
to
that
crystal
part of the-
animals?
Can you ask the bears
Well,
if they would
we
like
should
to
find
have
out.
a no-holds-bar wrestling match in the style of giant wrestling?
I'm gonna cast speak with animals.
Fair enough. That seems like a reasonable call here. What do you want to say? Music, I think.
What are you doing over there, you two?
One of them will turn around. Bare its crystalline
God
fangs.
damn
Kind
it.
of hard to tell the difference between where the lips end and the fangs begin, but
Barrett's fangs.
He said bear. Ha!
That's
one of the
one.
bears elbow drops Cedric.
That's one.
Since these puns might become unbearable.
Okay, well,
No,
Don't-
no.
let's not go for the low-hanging fruit. Come on, guys.
I'll
All right,
grab,
we've got two bear puns and one fruit pun.
I'll grab those fruit with my bare hands.
I'm gonna hit all of you.
It's all right if they keep this up.
Getting very annoying.
If they keep this up, you and Matt will be the only ones getting a level up in the next level up. Don't worry, they'll get theirs. I'm kidding,
This
obviously.
happened before it was awful. Anyway,
We remember. Anyway, yeah, one of the bears will look at you. Bare its fangs, yes, chortle, chortle. And say, There's more crystal in here.
Yargoth?
Yargoth?
No, it's not deep enough.
I know.
You're eating the
Dad?
crystal. Like those rabbits.
The rabbits are tasty. We need more.
Man,
Why
I
do
didn't
you
realize,
want more?
didn't realize these bears were sociopaths.
Jeez.
I mean, bears eat rabbits. That is a thing.
Usually fish. Anyway, why
Anyway,
you need more?
None of us can jump in. This.
the energy, the rush. More.
You're addicted to it.
So these bears are.
Eh.
This bear is Adam Driver?
More. More.
And as it gets more worked up, all of you can see little purple sparks cascading down its body.
That's concerning.
Yes, I believe they're addicted to these crystals. They keep talking about wanting more. Well,
Don't
screaming
think
it,
they're gonna
rather.
Get out of our way.
If we open the door for you, you won't kill us, correct?
Why would we kill you? Flesh does nothing for us anymore.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna walk up and see if I can't try and open the door to this building then.
It is locked and reinforced.
Are there any windows that I could try peering in through?
Yeah, there's a window nearby. It's a little dusty. On the inside, it looks like a laboratory. Honestly, not terribly unlike yours, but instead of the large corpse jars, there are a variety of plants and a few different, much smaller crystals that don't look quite like the ones growing outside. They bear a slight resemblance.
Is this window she's looking through, is it a reinforced window? Is it a window?
It's a window.
Okay.
Davi, if I lift you up, will you break this window in?
That is what Davi was thinking. He could break the window and find the door from the other side and unlock it.
That is a wonderful idea. Although I don't know if it's safe to let these bears in. They want whatever's in here, and if they eat it, then we won't have a chance to try and figure out what it is.
Well, maybe Davi will find what it is first, but don't tell the bears that.
They might be able to smell it on you.
Well, Davi's
Yeah.
not going to take it. He's just going to see what it is first. He'll call out through the wind
I'm hoping the
before
bears.
he unlocks the door.
Cedric didn't hear the conversation, but he's hoping the bears can't smell the crystal apples in Davi's bag.
They don't seem to currently notice, but the more Davi and Clem go back and forth, the more worked up these bears seem to get.
Okay.
Right,
well,
hurry along.
Davi is going to scramble up you.
I'll
Two-
just boost you.
Oh, you'll just boost me? Okay. You'll just boost him, and he's just going to take the butt end of the axe and just...
Yeah. It's just a normal window, so one good crack from the great axe will put a break in it that you can then continuously make bigger until people can start fitting inside.
Right, so Davi will climb through the window.
Okay.
I guess I'm
Does
going
anyone
to...
follow?
Sure.
How big
I'll
is the window?
boost you up, Cedric.
Cedric's tall enough.
Yeah, I'll clamber in.
Yeah, well, to get in a window, it's a little...
That's true. Edma, if you really tighten up your shoulders, you can get in.
I'll try and hold off the bears in the meantime.
I think I'll wait out here.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Zeshi, are you waiting outside as well?
Tyler!
Finally collapsed.
You may have finally...
He may
Tyler!
have finally given out.
Tyler!
Zeshi is out of caffeine.
Tyler! Tyler's dead, bro.
Dude, he's fucking dead.
Can we dismiss him?
Fucking died!
Well, I want to keep him in the overlay, so I don't have to.
Okay.
Anyway.
Impose
If he jolts awake at any point, it'd be easier to just have him there.
True.
Like that would be preferable, because if he does wake up at any point and he isn't in the call, he might just assume like he missed it. So
Anyway.
better to play to our outs.
I'd say Zeshi's,
all right.
Zeshi's probably outside then.
Yeah, Zeshi's looking like she's running kind of low on energy.
Yep.
Really?
Her hair's a little extra droopy. Alright, so Cedric and Davi, our interior team. You find yourselves within a lab, at least within the main room. There's 2 doors and a staircase. And you're both gonna hear from the top of that staircase. Oh, damn it, all you fucking bears got in!
I apologize to inform you, but Davi is not a bear, and nor is Cedric.
There's gonna be just a long pause.
Davi say something that was offensive, Cedric?
Or confusing. One or the other.
Oh. Okay.
And from atop the stairs, a half-elf with fairly unkempt hair at this point pokes his head around the corner. Who the hell are you?
I am Davi, and this is Cedric. By the way, do you have 1 million platinum?
I think pardon my short companion. We encountered one of you, a crystal rabbit found its way out of the woods and into our vicinity, and we tracked it back here. We're curious as to what's causing this anomaly.
Spreading out. Oh god, they're spreading out. Look, I don't know what you want. You want something from the lab? I guess take it, just don't let those fucking bears in here.
Well.
No. Davi just wants to know what is going on with the crystal and the bears and the rabbits, and he's gonna kind of hold the bag open with the apples and these.
Yes, well.
He's gonna jolt back, run over, take it from your hand, and launch it out the window.
Hey, Davi collected those.
I think that
Clem,
was
you and Ed watch the sack fly out the window, as well as at this point hearing the panicked voice of this other person. It's going to land on the ground. The bears are going to stop, look at it. Their noses are going to twitch, and they're going to run over to the bag and start tearing at it.
Yes, perhaps it's best to collect those.
I'm gonna poke my head inside and be like, what on earth was that?
This mean person threw Davi's bag.
I think that would have
I
attracted...
saved your life, you little idiot.
Well, save my life from what? You did not explain what the danger was.
Saved his life from what?
I think the
Are you
bears...
two still out there? You're going to hear the door unlock and it's going to poke open? Stop standing there like a bunch of grubbins. Get in, get in.
Alright, I'll rush in.
We don't have any more of the crystal on us. I believe we're safe in that respect.
No.
You'll have to pardon me, but I'm a little concerned what crystalline creatures are doing so close to my grove.
He's going to slam the door behind Zeshi and Edma and lock it again. Look, I apologize for your grove.
Nothing's happened to the grove yet.
He's gonna run over to one of the doors, open up what can now be seen as a closet, pull out some boards and start boarding up the broken window. You'll have to forgive me, it's been weeks since I've seen anyone. Didn't expect anyone to actually be out here.
You're boarding us up in with you.
Well, no, now that you're inside, you can take the door out when you wish to leave. But
Not
an
if
open
the bears
door-
continue to be out there.
Point is, I'm not boarding you in here, I'm boarding the bears out. If you wish to leave, there is the door, I'm not going to stop you.
What
Do you
is
need
the
us to
problem
take care
with
of
the-
these bears for you?
What is the problem with the bears?
Have you seen them? They'll tear your throat out if they think you've got more of the crystals.
I
Especially
just
those
spoke to
fucking
them.
apples.
Why don't you just kill the bears?
What is with the crystals?
One question at a time. Do you have any idea how tough their hide has become since they transformed into those things?
Why did they transform into those things?
Maybe we should back up and start from the beginning.
Yes. Yes. He's gonna dust his lab coat off in very wrinkled pants and attempt to straighten his hair to little effect. Okay. My apologies. Let me start from the beginning. Hello, my name is Pascal. I'm the lab assistant here.
Lab assistant.
Yes. Yes, the assistant. And very possibly the only one left alive between the two of us.
And where's your companion now?
My master went out to destroy what caused all this, but that was 2 weeks ago and he hasn't returned. I fear the worst, to be perfectly honest, and I'd go out try to do it myself, but with more of those animals showing up every day, Okay, sure.
Ants.
Can I get a paper towel? The chocolate's melting. Sorry about that, I was spontaneously handed a donut. You're fine. Ooh,
Donuts are good.
I'm gonna get
Spontaneous.
chocolate all over my keyboard.
Jonut.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Tyler's back.
Nit.
As for why, that was the next question, right? It was why, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
Why
missing
this
any-
is all happening. Yes.
Okay. My master, an alchemist named Glenfior. I started working for him a few years ago. He
Do I
was-
recognize this name?
You do not.
Okay.
Whoever he is, he's not from Faros.
Alright, sorry, continue.
He was on a mission, right? He wanted to figure a way to gift magic to those that couldn't have it. Without forcing them through years of rigorous study, a blessed bloodline, devout patronage to a god, or, well,
Servitude to
Warlock.
master. Yeah. Warlock.
and that was his goal. And in his studies, he created small versions of these mana crystals, and he'll pick one up off the table. These smaller ones are safe to handle. They don't really do much anymore.
Are the bears not going to want that?
This is a prototype, so it doesn't seem to be what they want.
Alright.
Unfortunately, when he first created the fruit, as he thought at first, if he could inject the mana volume, I suppose would be a good layman's term for it, the mana volume into something more edible, it'd be easier to transfer to people. Unfortunately, it crystallized the entire thing. But being the ever-curious man he was, he decided to plant it, seeing if it would reproduce apples, half and half, or more of these, those.
And it's spread.
I think you could guess. It's the latter. And not only are these things hot as a rock, well, you see what happens. Points outside. That's what happens when they're ingested. When the tree grew, the animals got to them. Then the animals transformed, and then the animals started eating each other, as nature does, and then those transformed.
So this has in other words, this has nothing to do with the rumors of magic going haywire recently.
Not in its
Sounds pretty-
entirety.
Sounds pretty haywire to me.
No, but
Experiment that's gone completely off the rails.
Yes, but it is still a man-made experiment.
Yes, but unfortunately that phenomenon you mentioned, which I only recently caught wind of, does seem to be what's making the animals extensively volatile.
I see it. So
They could... To put it bluntly, I saw one of the bears eat one of the rabbits, right? You'd think, whatever, they're both already crystal. Upon its head being decapitated, the rabbit exploded into more crystal in shards. Not more crystal, but its body, shattered.
Oh,
That, I believe, is the warping part. So while that is not the cause, that's technically our fault, and I really didn't think this would...
One of those rabbits hanging out with Volile.
yeah,
Are those safe to
Clem
handle?
Clem looks pale.
As long as... I don't know who Valila is, but as long as she doesn't kill the thing, it should be fine. As far as I can tell, they don't seem to be growing volatile to the point of anything happening around them.
So Davi gets a bit of a wicked smile. So what you're telling Davi is that you have created rabbit warfare.
I'm gonna turn to Clem and say, is there anything dangerous in the greenhouse?
If you think the butterflies are dangerous, then no.
Okay.
We did not create rabbit warfare. We had an experiment, it went haywire, and then the warping mana made it worse.
Yes, Davi, I think whatever this is, it needs to either be contained or destroyed, if possible. This is...
Well, sounds to me like a certain tree needs to be cut down.
Yes, well, as I said, that's what my master went to do.
Also, I think that's right out for selling this to anyone. We can't let this spread.
No, you can't. You couldn't sell this.
No.
It'd be a plague. God help us if we have to find out what happens if a person ingests this.
My point exactly.
So your master went off to find the tree.
He knows where the tree is. He planted it. He went to destroy it.
So I am to assume that you do not know where the tree is.
No, I do. He wanted me to stay back, keep an eye on the lab, and protect what little resources we had. That way, when he returned, we could continue to eradicate specimens and alter notes.
You best tell us where that tree is, then.
Well,
It's much deeper into the grove. It sits on a small island surrounded by a not terribly wide river moat, but maybe 5 feet across. You can't miss it. It's bright bluish purple, and it has the apples growing all along it, and the entire thing is crystalline.
Do you happen to have anything that perhaps these crystal creatures do not like?
Anything particularly effective against the mana crystals, either.
also a way to chop down a crystal tree, because I don't know if we have anything hard enough to cut.
Davi will use his axe, Cedric. You can calm down.
Were you able to cut through that apple?
Davi
Really?
got halfway through it, so he'll just have to hit the tree twice.
I mean, theoretically enough swings with an axe if your friend is capable with it, or more capable than your average woodsman, then I suppose your weapons could damage it. It would be...
Davi is not a woodsman, he is a giant.
Don't question
I'm not touching
it.
that with a 10-foot pole. I suppose you all could try. I can tell you nothing I know that the crystal has made them more vulnerable to, but generally speaking, they do retain some of the qualities of the original creature or plant, I suppose. So, I never got the chance to test it, but theoretically the tree could still be flammable. I'm not sure you'd want to. I don't know what that would do to the crystal. If anything, it might not do anything. Again, with those
Or
bears out
send
there...
it
I would
airborne
have to
amongst
do
the whole
experiment.
forest.
Yes, and heaven help that it spreads.
Chop it down it is.
Oh, Davi will have to tell Yargoth about the time him and his friends cut down a crystal tree.
If you'd like to rest here at the lab, feel free.
How late is it?
Mid-afternoon.
That feels good to go and find this tree if you are all good.
I mean, I'm only missing like one spell slot, so.
We haven't done much today. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sure.
All right. Well, if you insist on going out, at least. And obviously, I'm not going to come with you. I'd probably be more of a hindrance. I'm not much of a fighter. He'll go back to the closet and pull out a little, like a little milk case, full of potion bottles. I can at least send these with you, and he'll set them down. We keep a few potions of healing in stock. You'll need it more than me.
Much appreciated.
How many are there?
There are 6.
6. And Davi will just kind of pick the crate up and kind of look at everyone. Okay, who wants one?
What is it?
Healing potions.
Me for sure.
Wow, that's not a big one.
How many are in there?
6.
6.
6.
So I think all of the fighters should get 1, and then that leaves 3. Actually, I don't take that much damage, or at least I have rage, so I'll probably be fine. So
I mean, I can hold on to the extra ones and then feed them to you as needed.
Right, I think Zeshi and Clem should get 2, and then Cedric and Edma can have 1, and then I won't take any.
Okay.
I'm getting 2.
Yeah. Well, you guys are
Tyler's
squishy.
alive!
I'm alive.
Hi, Tyler. We thought you died.
Wait,
I told you. Cup.
wait, am I alive? Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, making sure. Discord said Discord was not responding, so.
Ooh,
Discord says
that'll
all the
do
things.
Discord says, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Potion.
So that's a divvy up.
Hey, Phoebe, it sounds like you're following me, huh?
Huh?
Confused.
I heard that.
I'm confused.
What?
You yawned.
He said it sounds like you're following him because you yawned.
Oh. Did I yawn?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like even more so. You're following me into the great beyond.
Kinda.
All right. As you're dividing up the potions, you can hear the bears sounding more agitated outside.
Yes, I did say I would see what I could do about getting this door open for them. I can just tell them no luck.
I'd want your backs. Those things have been getting more aggressive deeper into the grove, as far as I can tell. Or the creatures in general.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped being friendly when you walked back outside, especially if you promised them something.
They weren't particularly friendly, but I promised nothing. I just said
what
they
if you
wouldn't
just
kill us
tell
if
them-
we investigated the door.
What if you just tell them that the bag of apples is what was found and Davi threw it out for them?
We could do that.
Provided they don't want more.
They will want more, but at
Well,
least
just tell them there
keep
is
them
no
off
more
of us.
here.
Well, I mean, you can certainly try, but I'm just trying to warn you that inside they might be less friendly. But on the other hand, I don't possess the amount of nature magic your satyr friend seems to, and I cannot speak to animals, so I'm at a loss on that one.
Well, only one way to find out.
Yes, well, if at any point you need to retreat for something, even just a moment's rest, you can come back to the lab, but please don't break the windows again.
Promised.
And if you do come across Len, provided he's alive, do try to bring him back. Perhaps.
Let's hope he too isn't crystalline.
Well, as long as he hasn't ingested any of the animals or fruit, he should be fine.
You never know.
If it's been 2 weeks, he might have got hungry.
It's more likely if he was just hungry, he would have returned. I'm more worried he just had a bad run-in. Like myself, he was a smart man, not a terribly wildered man. So, not the
Terrible times
not
make
the
smart
best in a straight animal fight.
Terrible times make smart men do terrible things.
Let's stop scaring the man, Davi, and I'm gonna walk outside.
Do be careful.
Would you say it's been over 10 minutes at this point?
Yes.
Damn it, so I can't talk to the bears again.
And they're gonna look at you expectantly.
Uh-oh. Can I point to the bag?
You can point to the bag. The bag is in shreds all over the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna look at the bears and point to the bag to, like, indicate.
Look at it, look back at you, and start growling.
It was worth a shot.
Would you all be so kind as to roll me initiative?
God.
Thanks, music.
Hey, I rolled well this time.
Did the music have a good sting there, Phoebe?
A little bit.
Music did the pickup noise when you said roll initiative. Is that a
Right.
5?
I always got a 5.
Thanks,
I'm
Tyler.
not 20.
12.
I have a 9.
Hey.
RJ's gone.
He's probably got like a 20-something.
22. That's what RJ has.
Yep, called it.
I have a mod.
I think he's rolled less than 20 on initiative once so far.
I'm surprised he rolled
Crazy,
the
ain't
one
it?
today.
Yeah.
Alright, so that would make our order. You said 12, right, Quinn?
Yep.
Okay, well, unfortunately, the man decided to roll a 22 and then fuck off. I'm sure he's just in the bathroom.
Davi, you need to wrestle crystal bears.
Do your thing.
It's
Bears.
bear wrestling time.
It's time to wrestle crystal bears. You're up first.
Deadly wrestle, though.
Yeah, you're up first. What are you thinking?
I am going to.
Oh, and just for the record, normally I would switch to like a battle music, but given that I cannot currently properly execute the skip commands, it's just easier to leave as is for the moment. We'll try to get that rectified for next session.
Yeah, I'm gonna rage.
Okay.
Do it.
It's rage time.
I'm angry at these crystal bears.
And how big is this crystal bear compared to me?
I mean, how big is a normal bear compared to you?
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't know.
it's considered large. You're probably considered small.
Yeah, I didn't.
So
I
it's
didn't
two
know.
sizes above you.
Yeah. Can I take my my great club and just like run up to this thing and then like basically try and get on top of it, jam the great club under its neck and pull?
You can. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish with that.
I'm trying to use my tiny little bird body to choke the bear and grapple it.
He's trying to wrestle.
Trying to wrestle the bear.
You can go for a grapple check.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You kidding me? Bears, Davi, and not having bear wrestling time?
Well, I was trying to see where he was going with this because that wasn't immediately
It's my athletics, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What you got, Chief?
24.
That's pretty good.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
But is it good enough?
Only because ties go to the player. Skinny your teeth, kid. Skinny your teeth.
Dobby's
All right, you've got
wrestling
your
with
axe wrapped around this crystal bear, and it is failing to buck you off.
It's just gonna be on this bear. You put up good fight, bear, but Davy has wrestled many. That's my action, right?
Probably.
I mean, I'm double checking, but I'm fairly certain grappling uses the action.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else I can do right now.
Yeah, raging's a bonus action. So.
Yep. So
Alright.
I've grappled this bear.
Okay. Edma, you're up.
I'm going to take my blade and try and stick it in the neck of the other bear.
Go for it. Give me an attack roll.
Awesome. Well, that is an 8, so I'm going to assume that does not hit.
Unfortunately, that does fail to pierce the crystal hide.
I don't call that good.
Okay. Moving down the line here, we have Cedric. So I know I said I wasn't doing this, but fuck it. RJ, I'm gonna put another play command in, and once it loads, if you could just do the force skip command again.
Okay.
Because, fuck it.
combat music.
If you could do that, and then, exclamation point loop. Because this one's only like 4 minutes long. Perfect.
Rat jam.
Alright. So what are you up to, Cedric?
I'll look at what Davi's doing, see that he has that one under control, and I will draw my pike and go after the other one.
Alright. Roll me an attack.
Gladly. That's gonna be a big 18.
18 hits. Give me damage.
Excellent. Here's my D10. There it is. Nope, off the table. There we go. That'll be 8 damage.
8 damage. That's pretty good. Alright, you managed to jam the pike, and while it doesn't pierce per se, you do manage to slice a little chunk off of the hide. Alright. Anything else for your turn?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Calamity.
Shit, my turn already?
It is your turn already.
Damn.
Yeah, moves quickly when not every player has multi-attack yet.
Fuck it, chill touch.
Chill touch.
Natural 18.
That'll hit. We're fighting bears. I have to use the honey.
Yes.
I have no choice.
You've got to be thematic.
Ooh, 7 necrotic damage.
7 necro.
And it can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn.
Right. Which bear were you going after again?
The same one Cedric did.
Okay. So a phantasmal hand grips the bear and magical energy surges through it as a few small cracks form where the hand touched.
And I think that's all I can do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, then it moves to a bear's turn. Specifically, the bear that has a Davi on it. Let's see. So, this bear, attempting to buck Davi off to little success, decides to get up on its hind legs and fall backwards. Davi, I need a strength check to keep your grip on this thing.
Regular strength check or strength saving throw?
Sorry, saving throw. Or you can ignore the save by letting go as this thing's getting out.
Okay.
So would you like to let go or make the save? He's making the save.
I will make the save. Because I don't I get +2 while raging?
I believe so. Shouldn't be higher than
strength
+2.
checks and saving throws. Yep. So 25.
25 is good enough. You are going to take 4 bludgeoning damage as this thing slams you into the ground.
Use that to 2. Okay.
Yeah, and the bear is going to have to spend pretty much the rest of his movement getting back up, still attempting in vain to heave off a Davi.
Heave.
You think Davi has not wrestled your kind before? That is oldest bear trick in the book.
Oh, you have. Bear number 2 is about to find out if Cedric has.
Oh boy.
Or he gave it a stab. It does not like the stab. What number is that?
Sorry, did you stab
is
a
my
bear?
addition?
Did you stab a bear in a wrestling match? Come on.
A 19
Cedric
doesn't
plays dirty.
Cedric.
Well, back to me? Oh, that was fast.
No, a 19 hits you.
It's hitting you.
Yeah.
Fairly certain, unless you've gotten a boost.
Yes, I've been chompered.
He has been chompered.
Let the spirit of Steve take over your defenses.
Let the voice
Funny.
Wow. That is some.
let the voice
One of those
bear
dice was
take
on
the
max.
fire.
Its mouth is going around your arm, Cedric, and you're going to take 10 piercing damage.
Ow.
Quinlan, just say no. Weapon attacks can't hit you if you can buff your AC by 3.
Actually, in my case, that would still have just hit.
Yeah.
Alright. It will then get 1 attack on Edma with its claws. Let's see if it can manage. Not that time. That's only an 11. That's not going to do it, Chief.
Unfortunately, Edma's not doing tactical nakedness this time, so no.
Yeah, no tactical nudity, so enemies are back to having a hard time hitting. Zeshi, you're up.
So Edma and Cedric are close by the one that Dobby's not wrestling.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, so that pretty much goes all my range options, as again, I only have AoE range options.
A lot of AoEs.
AoE Queen.
Just hit things with your daggers.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the dress, pull out the daggers, and let's go.
Alright, who do you want to go after?
Rogue Sorcerer, let's go. I'll go after the one that, let Dobby have his fun. I'll go after the one everyone else is going after.
Alright, give me an attack roll.
I find it funny that literally Davi said before we came here, I'll take this one. You guys can all have that one, and that's what's happening.
They're letting Davi have his fun.
Until Davi starts showing signs of distress, he's fine. He's doing great.
Alright, so that's it.
concerned, and a horse kicked him in the face, and he barely cared.
Yep.
So that's a 23 to hit on the first dagger.
Your dagger finds its mark straight and true. Give me some damage.
1d4 plus 3, 6 damage.
6 damage. That's pretty good.
Do it again.
Go for it.
I'll fucking do it again.
Does a 23 hit?
The 23 does still hit. Give me some more damage.
Just to shake things up a bit. And that's 2.
2 more damage. Alright, so as both of Zeshi's daggers find their homes within the bear's hide, not super deep, but it pierces. As she pulls them back out, you all notice wisps of what appear to be mana start flowing out and start crackling once they exit the creature.
Can I discern if that, as the sorcerer, if that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Give me an Arcana check.
I'm just wondering if this thing's going to explode.
Ruh-roh.
Where's my Arcana? There's my Arcana. What's a 23 get me?
23. So
I just realized.
you're rolling well.
Bear nuke. Book.
So you didn't see the rabbit explode, so you're not fully aware of the circumstances, but judging by how this crystal is sitting, you think you've more created holes for the magic to escape rather than ticking down a time bomb.
Okay. So it's like it's bleeding, essentially.
Yeah, it's bleeding, and you're sort of venting out energy as opposed to
Diffuse
letting it
it.
continue to build.
Diffusing the bomb in the weirdest way possible. Stabbing it repeatedly.
Yeah. Okay, so we go back to Davi.
Okay, now here's the question. Can I restrain this bear?
Don't know if you can do that with a regular grapple.
I thought you had...
I was about to say, I think it is restrained by default when you grab. Wait, no, grapple's a different.
No, because grapple and restrain are different.
And screen grapple grapple effect. Under spell. Stated. Tell you what, I'll give you a second grappling check to see if you can get this thing restrained.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. I thought it's like you grapple and then you restrain it. Athletics check.
Unless you have a spell that just restrains.
Right. That is going to be another 25. Well, no, it's 25 this time. It was 24 last time. It's 25 this time.
All right. Even my high rolls aren't doing it yet. Only a 17. All right, you managed to bring this thing to its side.
Davi wrestles bears. It's official.
Now he has upgraded to crystal
When you
bears.
decide 25s are
Yes.
the norm, yeah.
Unless I only have bonus action. I don't think I could do anything besides rage again, and I'm already raging, so I'm good.
You're already raging, so.
I rage again.
Hey.
Double rage.
I rage. I stop. I rage again.
I mean, it just makes sense. If you rage and then you rage again, all damage you take will be halved and then halved, so you just take no damage.
No, that's
first
not
off,
how
you can be
percentages
quartered.
work.
If it even stacked, it'd be quartered. Second,
No.
It doesn't stack.
it doesn't stack.
Yep.
It does not enter the stack.
Not even Gungnir can do that.
Heaven help us if he could.
Gunnir's
The enemies.
specialty is breaking doors.
And saying remain calm, citizen.
It's remain calm.
Look, if he could stack a double rage, every enemy's a door then.
Actually, I just realized, RJ, with his new ability, that's probably going to be his new door opener.
Oh god, just fucking death laser. You know, honestly, I think I might give that to you if you fucking laser beam the door. Oh god, yeah, no,
That's using the noggin.
Right, Edma, you're up.
I'm going to try and stab this bear in the throat again.
Go for it.
11!
11.
Apparently, Matt's absorbing everyone else's bad rolls, so be sure to thank them.
Thank you.
I am furious, and I'm going. No, I'm not going to waste that. I'm just gonna end my turn thing.
Fair enough. Cedric, you're up.
Sorry, you guys only have to fight one bear. I got the other one.
I don't get to fight. I get to just fail.
Mood.
Cedric.
Quinn, you good?
Brandlin.
Oh, sorry.
Cedric.
Alright.
Quinn's
yep.
fading too. We're all fading.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm surprised I'm not fading more. I'm on like 5 hours of sleep, and it was awful sleep. I was waking up like every hour.
Oof.
I'm gonna stab it.
Give him a stab.
Yeah, that's a nat 18.
That still hits.
Yep. Thank God for Great Weapon Master.
Ain't that the truth?
9.
9 damage. Alright, you managed to chunk another good piece off this thing. Actually, quite a large chunk. Alright. I assume nothing else?
Yep.
Alright, Clementine.
Again.
Again,
I'm not
again.
getting near these things.
Probably a good call.
So chill touch again.
Fair enough. I mean, it tend poor Cedric, so I don't blame you for not wanting to go near him.
Cedric, are you good?
I'm at like almost half.
Yeah, you're good. You can take another hit.
Okay.
You're not going to be immediately downed.
Listen, I have 2 spell slots,
Fair enough.
okay?
Also, that is a lot more. There's a lot more RJ leg that I'm used to seeing on these.
What can you
Sexy
say? Sport?
RJ.
Wouldn't go that far.
Sorry, that was a natural 17, so 18, 19, 22. Dude, 22 to hit.
That hits.
Six necrotic damage.
6 necrotic damage. Several more cracks form in this thing where the hand touches it,
Still can't heal.
and chunks start falling off. Okay. Again, I'm assuming nothing else?
Nope, that's it.
Alright. Alright. Bear number 1 must attempt a grapple check at this point. That's its only option, is to try to break free. Because it cannot get up at this point, so let's see what we can do. RJ.
Is this bear gonna try and get out?
That is literally its only option.
See what you can do, Mr. Bear. Once, 21?
Okay, the bear wrangles, and launches you a couple feet away. It got a 24.
Oh shit.
The bear stands. And the bear had to use its action to do that. Do bears have a bonus action? This one doesn't.
2 bears, never goes.
I always like to consult my own notes just to be safe.
Bonus action?
That
No.
was a stretch.
Oh.
It wasn't meant to be a pun. Meant to be a play on words.
Okay. Actually, let me see something. Where's my percentile? There it is. Let me
Uh-oh.
see something.
Quinn, do you have a slinky? What is that?
It is a slinky. I'm using it as a fidget.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's all the bear can do. Well, that's all that bear can do. Bear number 2, on the other hand,
Did somebody say fidget?
can still do things. Let's see. What's on the menu? Or as this one fucking guy from the comic shop I go to says, how do I want to fuck this pig?
What?
Interesting.
I'm dead serious. I was sitting across from this man playing cards, and he started his turn, looked at his card, and said, all right, how do I want to fuck this pig? And I literally looked at him and went, excuse me? He's like, well, it's a saying. And I'm like, I know exactly what you're saying, and I understand the word. I understand what you're getting across, but what?
Cyrus moment?
No, that is beyond a Cyrus moment. Like, that's as close as, admit, like, that's as close as I've ever seen an actual human being get to a Cyrus moment, though.
Fair enough.
Like, and now literally there's a couple people who are at the shop who are like, hey, remember, how do I want to fuck this pig guy? That's how we remember him. It was so out of left field, and he's like, you never heard anyone say that? I'm like, no. And a few other guys at the table are like, yeah, no, I've never heard someone say that.
That dude was totally Cyrus.
Excuse you, Cyrus is not into bestiality.
No, but he would use a saying like that.
He would use a similar saying, yes. But, the guy wasn't actively twitching or chewing on an arrow, so I'm not sure if it's exactly 1-to-1.
Was he chewing on something else?
No, actually, he was just sitting there.
He was chewing on.
Sad.
We all had masks on, so he couldn't really be chewing on anything anyway. Okay, bear number 2. Bear number 2 is very unhappy with Cedric. Let's see what happens.
Sounds
That
like a clickbait YouTube title. You won't believe what happens with Crystal Bear and resurrected zombie man.
My resurrected zombie guy had to fight a crystal bear. You won't believe
Gone
what happens
bad,
next.
gone sexual.
Gone bad, gone sexual, not clickbait.
Not clickbait.
So, much to Quinlan's relief, it only got a 15
Just miss.
on its bite.
Cedric's like barely pulls back. God damn it.
They're inevitable. All right, let's see if the claws have been. Wow, that is significantly worse luck. All right, Cedric, your armor's serving you well as this bear tries to get at you.
Nope. Nope.
Your bear is doing the Lord's work. Zeshi.
Yep.
There is now one bear with nobody directly next to it.
Oh, cool. Sure. Do I want to do? I don't want to do that. Not with just one bear. I'm going to do Thunderclap.
Thunderclap. All right.
Yeah, it makes. Actually, no. Because Thunderclap's a con save. I'm going to guarantee a bear can make a con save.
Well, you never know.
Screw it. I'm probably not going to get another chance like this again. So let's go.
All right. One con save. What's my target?
14.
Well, that sure is an 8.
What do you know?
You actually got it. You actually got it.
That sure is an 8.
All right. Well, he's taking one. He's taking 1d6 lightning damage or whatever.
1d6 lightning damage.
Sometimes you just gotta try.
Sometimes you just gotta go for it. So you're saying there's a chance.
That's a 5. He takes 5 lightning.
5 lightning damage strikes the bear.
And of course, everyone else hears for 100 yards out, or 100. No. 100 feet away. Everyone within 100 feet hears a crashing thunder.
All of your teammates. And
Yeah.
the guy in
Ooh.
And the guy in the tower.
yeah, and the guy in the building, yeah. And whatever other animals might be around, or people, who knows. All right, it takes that, and as the lightning strikes it, a small crack forms. But you notice the bear, the crystal skin starts to glow a little bit.
I just put magic right into it, didn't I?
Uh-oh.
All right. Anything else, Miss Baddest Witch?
Nope. That was my spell.
All right. Bear Wrestler Extraordinaire, you're up.
So, how far did I get bucked off of this thing?
Like just outside melee range. You're not far.
Okay. Okay. Round 2! And he's going to jump right back on that
Oh my
bear.
god.
Let's do another roll. I'll use this one this time. What? Gotta love all your dice. Unless you're Phoebe, in which case you prioritize 2 sets of dice.
Hey,
Yeah. Blood and honey.
Alright, what do you got, Chief?
which I've done for Clem.
Yeah, I have a 27.
Yep, I've only got a 23. This bear is grappled. You going for the same grip?
I could sort of spice it up. I mean, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the same, but this time I'm gonna like, instead of going from the top, he'll kind of come from the bottom, you know. Like it's like he'll be on the bottom and he'll be pulling like instead it's gonna be on top of its neck. He's gonna be pulling down this time.
Okay, alright.
So
What do you
instead
want,
of being on
Stinky?
top of the bear, he slid under the bear.
Alright, makes sense. Yep, you've got it holding in, you've got its head pulled down a bit.
And just kind of like right under this bear, and just be like looking at its like, do crystal bears slobber?
No.
No, they don't. Okay, no bear slobber. And he'll just kind of be under there and go, huh, usually there's a lot more bear slobber down here. Hey guys, there's no bear slobber.
Good.
I don't know how to take that, if I'm being honest.
Cedric, what do I do with this information?
Sounds like that's a good thing, though.
A lot cleaner.
Edma, you're up.
Less mess to clean up.
I want to stab the bear.
Please roll me another attack roll.
You'll get it there. You'll get there. You'll get there.
I'm done with my turn.
My condolences. I've been there, my friend.
Where's your toy?
Hey, Cedric.
Alrighty. I got one job, and I'm gonna do it. That's a 16 this... Oh, sorry, no, a 14 this time. Yeah.
14. Cedric, you have now found too tough of a spot on the bear's hide.
Duh.
Your stab actually
Oh no! Did he get
flips up
stuck?
and off it.
Should I action surge? Yeah, screw it. Action surge.
It's to surge.
That's the exact same thing.
Another 14.
Oh, hi, Moon.
I am afraid the bear does manage to buck the attack once more. Actually, is Phoebe... Her headset's wireless, yeah? You can
Yes,
still
what
hear
do you
us?
need?
It's your turn.
Ah, god damn it. Sorry, Lola lost her favorite toy under the couch again.
Can't have
Completely.
that.
She certainly can't.
Take a wild guess as to what I'm gonna do next.
Is it Chill Touch?
Good guess. Natural 18.
Bazooka.
Yep. It's above a 20, so that'll hit.
6 necrotic damage.
6 necrotic. Alright. At this point, another crack forms, and at this point the crack is large enough that more of that magical mist starts seeping out, but I'll say definitely Zeshi, and I'll say, yeah, Clem, you've been standing back. After seeing the other bear glow, you do see as the hand touches it, it starts to glow, but then as more and more of the mist shoots out, its glow dims.
But we keep going to explore, hopefully.
I suppose this is how we tell whether or not it's been sufficiently hurt.
Alrighty then.
Lola,
That
don't
is
be a motherfucker. Good girl.
bear number 1, who, in its infinite wisdom, sees no reason not to just lift itself up, spread its legs out, and then fall forward on top of this bird. You need to make another strength save.
Yo, can I just like, I'm not, probably not gonna work, but just like stand there and just like try and keep the fucking bear up.
You're actively pulling it down.
I know, I'm actually pulling it down. When it tries to bring me down and crush me, I'll just like brace and try and keep its
You
head
like
up.
let go of your axe and put your hands on its neck like, no, 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 no!
So a strength save?
Yeah, strength save if you want to, or again, you can simply release the grapple to dodge.
You're gonna get
Up to you.
crushed by 2 tons of crystal bear.
The crystal bear?
Crushed beneath the crystal bear.
I'm gonna have a Davi pancake.
3.
23, that's good enough to hold on. It's conveniently also not the damage I rolled, but the numbers I rolled. That's just a funny coincidence. So in total, that's gonna be 6 damage, 6 bludgeoning, half to 3. And it'll spend its movement to... Yep, Okay, so that's its turn. It is on top of Davi, who's...
Oh,
Bless him, he's got a hold on this thing. Edma,
My turn?
it is your turn.
hit.
The bear Davi's holding is currently prone.
You could
I
get,
am
you could
going
get, you could get
to just
advantage.
Stab on it.
Get advantage on
I know.
prone stuff.
It's still grappled, so it lost its movement.
Well, that's a 20.
Nat
Well, there
20?
you go.
Yeah, so that's 20.
Bam, son. There you go. That auto hits and give me double your damage dice. That is to say twice as many dice, if you'll recall.
Oh, I thought I had to roll half as many.
Nah, bruh. Twice as many.
12 damage.
12 dabblage as your sword strikes straight and true. Just with quick maths. There we go.
Well, that was demanding.
As you jam your sword down into this thing's back. And Zeshi, you're already looking over at this thing. This bear also begins to dim a bit as once Edna pulls the sword out, that magical mist starts pouring. It's not really a mist, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Starts
Get it.
ejecting from its body.
I'm
Alright,
going to action surge and do it again.
By all means.
Don't put it in the box.
It's time to
Don't put it
surge.
in the box.
Alright, so I hope a 24 hits.
It does hit.
And that'll be
These things got an AC boost for being crystal. They didn't get that big of an AC boost.
6 damage.
6 more. All right. Edma's catching this thing up with the other one all by herself.
Hell
Alright, I'll let
yeah, Edma.
Now, Zeshi did damage it. That is on the record. It's not completely solo.
Edma's catching it up.
And it is thanks to Davi that it's prone.
It's all working out.
Everything's coming up, Edma. Cedric,
Ah,
you failed your last 2. What are you going to do about it?
I'm gonna do it better.
He's gonna do it better.
That's a
No, don't jinx it.
19.
He didn't jinx it. That hits.
Oh, thank God.
Yo. Nice. That is 11 points of damage.
Yeehaw.
11 points of damage.
Like,
Cedric, you find...
Jam it in
Yeah.
and just like twist or like yank it upward.
Spelljammer?
So you jam it in. You give it a good twist, and you just crack off half of this thing's face.
Hmm.
And it collapses.
Hell yeah, Cedric.
It's
Get
twirl
him.
the pike. Turn to the other one.
Third time's the fucking charm. All right. That moves it to Clemati.
Yeah, let's spice it up.
With Chill Touch. Ha!
Let me use my boomerang.
Boomerang.
Go for it. Give me a roll.
Your trusty
Wait.
boomerang.
Her trusty
Distance.
boss-slaying boomerang.
Do I still get advantage or no?
No. Actually, hang on. 1 second.
You only get advantage if your name is.
Disadvantage. You're more than 5 feet away, so you have disadvantage on the roll.
I have disadvantage?
Yes, a prone creature, if the attacker is more than 5 feet away, the attack roll has disadvantage. If you're within 5 feet, it has advantage.
You only get advantage if your name is Sokka.
Mm.
Funny as you are, Clem, you are not nearly funny enough to be Sokka.
Does a 15 hit?
He just misses.
Why is Tenor not giving me any gifts with his boomerang? It's just random.
That's it.
Just random.
Alright, so the boomerang... Now, if it misses, it flies back to you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah. It swirls past Edma, over the bear, and just right back to you.
Oh, I don't want to open Microsoft Office.
Okay, it is time for bear number 1. Yes.
This one's good
Brent?
enough. Nothing.
Microsoft
Don't
Office.
me. Carry on.
That'll do. Yeah, the bear is prone, so it has no choice but to attempt to break this grapple. Let's see how that works out for it, Cotton.
What are you doing underneath me, ma'am?
It must try.
Eh.
22.
16. It remains
Do you want
grappled.
to see that child attack me?
No, I
She
missed it.
got
I'm
my
sorry.
elbow.
Lola, cut it out.
It's recorded.
We got you on camera, you little shit.
God, that's the fucking Ethan. You know the one. I love you, Mr. Bob. I got you. I got this on camera.
Mr. Bubs is a wonderful creature that happens to be possessed by Satan.
No, the one that's possessed by Satan is the guy who's like, how do I like to relax? Well, I like to come home and just pet my dog.
Lucky. The dog's name is Lucky. The Chihuahua?
Yeah, Lucky the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Always fucking
Chihuahuas are
Chihuahuas
just
that are possessed by Satan.
Alright, Zeshi. Yup. People are back within 5 feet of this thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna stab it.
Give it a stab.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do shocking grasp. I want to mix it up even more.
It is quite easy to land a touch spell on this thing.
Yeah. All right. So I do not hit.
That's a shame.
I cannot get my fingers on this thing.
So you do slam your hand on it, but the electricity just kind of almost repels and then absorbs a little bit. Now, what little glow it gains, it then loses out through that pretty sizable slice Edma put in it.
All right, that's good.
And it didn't absorb a whole lot from that. Davi, you're underneath this bear, holding it. What do you want to do?
Restrain the bear.
From underneath it? Good luck.
I mean, it's already prone, but if you want to, I'll give you the grapple check.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. God, I guess I'll like slide around it because it's prone. So I'll slide out from under it to get on top of it and just take the great club and push its neck into the ground.
Alright, fair enough. Let's see that plan in action. I can already see where this is going.
Oh.
I mean, given that you've only rolled 2 rolls tonight under a 20, and this thing is barely cracking a 10?
22 again?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no. No. You need to stop rolling above 20s, man. You're making this hard on me.
Well, I have a +7 to athletic. Well, right, when I'm raging, I have a +7 to athletics and saving throws.
I get that, but could you just, like, not for, like, 5 minutes?
No, dude. Davi's wrestling a bear.
Alright, fine. The next bear is getting fucking +15. Fuck you.
This is what Davi was born to
Power
do.
creep the campaign.
This is his calling.
Anyway, yeah, no, the bear doesn't even get close to that, so, yeah, it's restrained.
Hi.
So,
It is also prone.
so basically, just Davi is restraining his bear by holding it down, and you guys just hear him go yata-tata, yita-tata, yuta-tata, just yelling things out in giant.
Cricket child. Psst, psst. Come here.
So let me see.
This is her
So the
favorite
only
one.
new condition it gains is it has disadvantage on dex saves. That's it.
Yep.
Fun.
How
Because
does,
the rest of this was already true.
how does bear wrestling typically end?
See Edma and find out.
I'm going to stab this restrained bear.
You still have advantage.
Well, that's another 20. So I will double the damage side. 15 damage.
15 damage? That's a lot of damage. Somebody call Phil Swift.
And then I
You
believe that's
you
all I
need
can
the
do.
flex tape.
To show you the power of this crystal, to show you the power of flex tape, I sawed this crystal bear in half.
Please, my bear. It is very broken.
Dude, my favorite one is the one where he's standing in front of the earth getting like in half. Just show you the power of flex tape. I sawed the earth
You're
in
a
half.
Cedric, my man. You're up.
I'm gonna stab a restrained bear.
It's like,
You
Phil,
have
no,
advantage.
you've gone
Yep.
mad with power, Phil. No, please.
All he can he's off too much flex glue, and all he can see is Martians. Okay, that's gonna be a 24.
That hits.
That's gonna be a big ol' 13 points of damage.
Call him Cedric the Bear Slayer.
I'm putting my back into it this time. I'm just like hammering it in.
And you do directly into this thing's neck over and over again until it just stops moving.
Well, I didn't like that very much.
Ugh. Well, that was a thing.
Unpleasant.
Are the bears dead now?
They're dead.
Okay.
What's happening with their body?
They
That's
are
actually-
laying there.
That's actually a good point. We should probably
Nice
back
bit.
up.
RJ, could you give me one more force skip command?
Oh, okay.
So we can go back to normal area music for now.
I want to
Where
try
is it?
in one of these bears.
Many thanks. So, as for the bodies, they continue to grow dimmer and dimmer until they just look like normal crystal, where the only light coming from them is refracted from what the sun is giving.
That's
I'm gonna turn around and
Curious.
yell, I think it's safe to come out now.
The door's
Davi's
gonna open
going.
just a little. No, it's not. You
There's-
dealt with 2 of them. Do you have any idea how many more bears stalk these woods? I don't want to know how
No.
many more turn to crystal.
Davi is going to get off of the crystal bear, pull his great club off of it, sheath it, and go, look to whoever's paying attention. Did you see? Did you see? Did you see? Davi wrestled that bear. Davi wrestled that bear good.
you are
did.
I watched you, Davi. You did wonderfully.
excellent bear wrestling.
Ha ha! He was no match for Davi Crystal Bear.
It is curious though. We saw the rabbit detonate when it died, but these seem to just become inert. Perhaps the size is what is the difference?
Or
No, we're
the
poking
slicing
holes.
instead of the sudden death.
Yeah, we were poking holes in it, releasing the magic in it.
What do you think a crystal bear would fetch for on the market?
We're not
No.
selling them.
No! You cannot go selling these things!
Where are you going to put the bodies?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You're partially responsible for this.
But yes, I understand that. I don't know. Where do you want me to put the bodies? I don't exactly have a bear grave lying around.
Somewhere where some other unfortunate travelers won't come upon it and think to sell it themselves.
Well, suppose I could keep them out back at the moment. That'll at least keep them out of sight of normal people until they come snooping around. But I'd need help from, well, you all. These things are rather large.
Start digging. We're gonna go find your master.
Look, I am trying to find a way to reverse this. Really, I am. What do you think I've been doing cooped up in here this whole time?
Hiding.
Yes, but I can do
Figuring out
that and work at once.
You've been figuring out the proper strategy to wrestle the bears. That's what Davi would have done.
No, I am trying to figure out a way to reverse the crystallization if possible.
Is that like
Unfortunately, I
wrestling?
am merely an alchemic apprentice. I admit my knowledge isn't amazing, but I've been scouring Len's notes, trying desperately to find something.
Have you tried wrestling the notes?
Davi, perhaps you...
Not everything is solved with wrestling. Lots of things, but not everything.
Not everything is solved with wrestling.
Believe me, I know this is partially my fault. I feel genuinely terrible about it.
I suppose then continue your work. Just keep an eye on those corpses and make sure no one decides to relocate them. What are you doing? What do you want?
I'll set up some sort of parameter around it for now.
Perimeter?
Yes, parameter.
You've been
I
researching
didn't sleep
too-
last night.
You've been caught up in your research, I take it.
No, those things were clawing at the door all night, and I couldn't get myself to sleep.
Fair.
No, Cedric, these are bears.
No.
What?
What are you talking about?
You said bear. These are bears.
That's the same word, Davi.
What?
Oh. Okay.
Are you
Anyway.
okay?
Well,
So you said fair and it sounded too much like bear to him.
Oh, gotcha.
well, thank you for your help with that. I wish I could give you more of a reward at the moment, but I'm afraid those potions of healing will have to suffice. I'll see if I can scrounge something up for you all, once I actually find some kind of formula to see if I can't get this fixed. Granted, even if I do, as long as that tree's still around, I can't do much.
That's
If
reward
you
enough.
could get
Work
Davi
on
a
them.
reward, he would like one belt of Storm Giant strength, please.
What?
This is what Davi wants.
Davi, this man likely does not even know where to find one of those.
Belt of Storm Giant Strength? Never even heard of such a thing.
I've never heard of the belt. It is the belt. For the... Sir, tell this man that he has heard of the belt.
Not everyone has heard of this belt, Davi.
Your friend is awfully obsessed with bears and belts.
No,
We know.
it is not just any belt, Cedric. It is the belt.
I-
It is the only belt.
Well, I can at least give you some extra information, and he'll point down the main road. The trees, well, in that general direction, there's a few small twists and turns, a few dead ends, not many. If you do find yourself in one, it won't take long to turn around. I can tell you, I don't know how much of the woodland it's crystallized, but besides the bears, a few rather large boars and giant badgers tend to hang around the deeper parts of the grove, so be on the lookout for them.
Sounds fantastic. I guess we'll be on our way.
For what it's worth, at least for now, the birds that hang around haven't crystallized, not from what I've seen. So they're not eating these things. Well, I won't hold you up. Thank you again, truly.
Get to work.
Yes. He'll
Clem will leave.
head back inside. All
She's
right.
not happy.
I mean, why would she be?
Opposite of happy.
I am unhappy.
Upset.
All right. Moving further into the woodlands. Now at this point...
Just as we're walking, Davi will just say to everybody, "You think when Davi retires from adventuring, he could be professional bear wrestler?"
I think if you retire from adventuring, you'd be too tired to bear wrestle anymore.
No.
Or you'll be dead. Clem gets really blunt when she's upset.
That's quite reasonable, actually. So, at this point, traveling down this main road, now you're starting to see some of these crystals get bigger, and instead of just growing on things, there's now, like, patches of the ground and patches of tree bark that are just crystallized. That are getting larger the deeper in you go.
Nearly more than one tree. What on earth would
No,
this
the trees that are turning are all turning a purplish red crystal.
I wonder if Yargath has ever seen anything like this in his travels.
Probably not.
There's also
This
more.
is the first we've ever seen anything like this.
There's also more of the crystal fruits scattered about the ground.
Don't pick them up.
No, Davi's not going to pick them up. That would attract more of the bears, and well, between you and me, Clem, Davi is a little wrestled out. That was a pretty big bear. But
Yeah, we don't need any more
Don't let
after us.
Cedric know that, because Davi wants Cedric to think that he can wrestle many bears.
Why?
Cedric is cool, and Davi wants Cedric to think that Davi is cool. That's why Davi play hard to get.
I think
That is what the ladies call it, right?
Puppy dog.
Clem's like,
Cedric isn't even paying attention.
is Davi trying to flirt with Cedric?
I think
like,
I think he like looks up to him or something and is trying to impress him.
Clem's a little confused right now.
What you doing, Lily girl? Anyone see the puppy dog?
Yep, we see the puppy dog.
Upper.
Puppy.
Pupper.
Pupper.
That's the pupper doodle.
I
What a
can't
good
show you
pupper.
my dog. He's lying in the other room. He's
This is-
tired.
This is the calm puppy dog.
Yeah, we can actually see him.
I've
He's
got a
not just a
puppy.
blur of fluff.
This is Lily girl.
I've got a funny looking puppy who keeps asking to play fetch with me. Come here.
All right,
Come here.
there's a psychopath here. Come on.
Lola.
You're a very funny looking puppy.
Lola, you're a puppy.
She keeps playing fetch.
That is a puppy.
Come on, Papa.
And she also speaks occasionally on command.
Kona, come on.
Dog's like, no.
I was like, no, I must be energetic somewhere else.
That's what he's looking at. He's following his sister out. What the heck? All right, I'm top liver apparently. Kona, get over here. What?
Oh, you stinky.
That was
Oh,
chop
you're
fucking
stinky.
liver. What's Tyler? Chop fucking
Where'd your
liver?
toy go?
Yeah, There he is.
It depends on the day of the week.
There he is.
What? It's Tyler Chop Liver. Only
Sorry.
on
Is that supposed
Sunday.
to be a dog? All I see is a blur of white.
Yeah, that's
All I
kind of
see
just how that dog
Is a
exists.
cloud of fluff.
All I see is one dog rapidly moving back and forth in the same place to make it look like two dogs.
Just don't know why. So close to proving it.
There he goes, playing fetch again.
Yeah, that's Coda Papa. He's actually still for a second. Coda! Oh, there he goes.
A baby.
Alright, moving even deeper into the woods, the crystals and the crystallization spreads more and more. Large slabs of trees are entirely crystallized, and parts of the floor as well.
Don't claw me. I'm not touching it.
You do hear
Fording on.
a little bit of whimpering.
Does anyone else
Where?
hear that? It sounds like
A little further in.
like a low like whimper.
I'll
I'll investigate. Yeah.
I will too.
Alright. A little bit further down, and a bit off to the side, there is a wolf. A normal wolf lying on its side. Its leg is bleeding quite badly, and next to it is the largest chunk of crystal you've seen yet. Like, the crystal growing from the ground itself is like the size of a bucket, and then it's spreading to like a 5-foot area around it.
So it's like it's around this wolf.
Around the crystal.
Yeah, no, like the ground around it.
Okay.
Like instead of grass on the ground, it's like crystal grass.
Can I get to this wolf?
Yeah, it's just the ground.
Okay. Yeah, I'll walk over to this wolf and I'll look at the injured leg.
I mean, it is partially cauterized and partially not, and the part that isn't is bleeding.
I
I can
will.
perform a medicine check.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna rip off part of my. Actually, no. I'm gonna take the lizard hide that
Roll that medicine check, Phoebe.
it was tanned.
Oh.
Go ahead.
It was
And-
10, excuse you?
no tanned.
Tanned, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the lizard hide. I'm gonna cut enough of that off and make a tight bandage to tie it around this.
22.
Tie it around the leg.
Alright, Clem. While well-intentioned, Davi's form of putting the bandage on isn't the best. You're able to advise him on a more effective way of applying it to more effectively stop the bleeding.
Are you sure you want to use that hide that you worked so hard to tan?
He has more of it. It's a little smaller now, but this is saving life of wolf. The tan, it is not as important. I mean, yes, I really wanted cool cloak like Cedric, but saving wolf life, it is worth it.
Fair enough. I'll continue to adjust and patch and whatnot.
Davi's gonna kind of try and pet the wolf to calm it.
It's going to lean away from your hand.
It's okay. It's alright. It's not too bad. It's just a little cut.
Davi says that Clem knows that thing almost hit an artery.
Well, whenever
I'd
in a
also
first aid
like
situation,
to know why it was partially cauterized, but
whenever in a first aid situation, you don't tell them how bad it is.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
if
no,
it's really
never tell
bad,
them.
You always say it's gonna be fine.
You gotta tell him it's completely manageable.
Oh yeah. The man has a fucking spear in his gut. You're like, you're gonna live. It's gonna be fine.
look, we know how to handle this. It's gonna be okay. Just hang on.
So just turn to the guy to the left. This man is so fucking dead.
This guy is going to die. Let me see something here. RJ, give me an animal handling check.
Gotcha.
We did really good this time.
15.
15. The wolf eventually lets you pet it. And it's gonna spend a little time sniffing your hand and sniffing Clem, since you two are right next to it.
I'm gonna pull out some deer jerky and see if it wants some.
It'll sniff it and then slowly take it from you.
See, it is not too bad. Me and Clem, we are friends, and between you and me, Mr. Wolf, Clem knows a lot more about this medicine stuff than David does.
You know, Davi, if you read enough books on it, you'd probably become as good as I am. Eventually.
David could be as good as Clem?
Reading books, sure. I could teach you a thing or two as well.
Does that mean that if Clem stays friends long enough with Davi, she could wrestle bears with him?
If I decided to, yes. I could also potentially wrestle bears as a bear.
And you're just gonna say that, and you're just gonna see his eyes just like, Clem, you have to promise, you need to make a promise to Davi.
What promise, Davi?
Promise Davi that you'll wrestle a bear as a bear.
I have not tried it yet, but sure.
As you are talking, the wolf is going to attempt to stand.
I'll give it space.
I'll still grab
It doesn't make it. Its leg wobbles and immediately gives out.
Can I attempt to kind of like, because I'm short, give it support?
Yeah, you can give it some support.
Okay, Mr. Wolf, where do you want to go?
It's gonna look behind itself, deeper into the woods, but not in the direction that the clearing continues.
You want to go this way?
Its ears flop back and it just starts whimpering and it kind of nudges you towards the clearing.
Do you want to go this way? Davi can help you get there.
It's just gonna whimper and nudge you, and in the distance you'll hear slightly distorted wolf howling.
Oh, you're the pack. Yes.
And
pack.
its ears are gonna ping back more.
Oh, no.
Probably
bad pack.
crystallized wolves.
Crystal pack. Oh, that is bad. Don't worry, Mr. Wolf. Davi and his friends will keep you safe.
It's just going to continue to nudge you and start nudging Clem as well.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Then
I'll help carry it along as well.
yeah, I don't know. Could I lift this wolf by myself?
Deadlifting wolves.
In theory, sure. Give me a strength check.
All right.
If you used your entire wingspan and your shoulders, yeah, maybe.
All right. This is just is this an athletics check or a strength check?
Just a strength check.
Okay.
Would any of you like some chocolate milk?
I would.
Milk. 17.
17.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah. It takes you a second to find a good balancing spot, but you do manage to find a point where it's more on you than falling off of you.
Right.
It's a little watery.
Okay, Mr. Wolf. You lead the way. Davi will take you there.
The rest of you look over and he's saying that while he's got the wolf in like a fireman's carry.
I think it would just be. It would rather be anywhere other than where that crystal pack is, at least for the time being.
But where do we take the wolf? Perhaps we could take it back to that research assistant. He could take care of it.
That might take too long. I'm sure it'll be safe with us.
Okay, Davi will keep the wolf safe.
I can keep a better eye on it from here. And I'll just kind of like walk behind him to make sure he doesn't struggle or Davi doesn't drop it.
As you're walking, the wolf's just gonna look up at you, ears still pinned back.
I'll just like... I'll hold my hand up to let it sniff it.
It will sniff you, wait a second, then lick your hand.
I'll give it a little scratch on the head then. I'm not gonna try talking to it.
That's fair. The
Yeah.
howling does get further away as you guys progress deeper into the woods.
I wonder if Mr. Wolf has a name. Do you think wolves give each other names, Clem?
Possibly. I could ask it later, but I'm currently saving my energy for keeping you all healthy.
Oh, that is very nice of you, Clem.
I suppose so, yeah. I try my best.
Now you get a little deeper, and at this point, most of the trees around you have completely crystallized.
This is alien.
The trunks are almost a completely solid purple. Most of the leaves are a red crystal.
God, I really hope that's...
Are we sure this can be fixed by chopping down one tree?
If the tree is, pardon the pun, the root of the problem, it will at least solve one of them.
I had a dream like this once.
If
But
that
everything was
apprentice-
made of jello, not crystal.
Jello?
You know, the food that goes boing.
As you all
Uh-huh.
pondered his statement, you do hear running water in the distance, further down.
We did need to keep our ears out for water.
But he did say it was surrounded by a moat like 5 feet across, so that could be it.
Let's check it out.
Sounds good. Unfortunately, getting a bit further in, you do come across more crystals growing from the ground, except they're growing edge to edge on the clearing. To the point where they're almost as high as a normal picket fence.
Of course, it's made a natural defense.
And these crystals are almost entirely crackling.
That does not look good.
They look dangerous, yes.
Perhaps somebody would want to throw Davi over this?
Sure.
By yourself.
Seems...
So, Davi could get a good view if you toss Davi up. He could flap a little bit,
Is...
But somebody would have to watch after Mr. Wolf in the meantime.
I don't think that would be too hard, yeah.
Time check.
Wolf whimpers.
I'll walk over to Cedric. Here, Cedric, you take care of Mr. Wolf. I'm counting on you, Cedric. Keep him safe.
Look at Cedric, sniff him a little.
It's okay. Cedric is a nice man. Well, Davi thinks he's a nice man. You'll probably like him too, Mr.
Wolf down.
Where'd you put it?
I'm going to wolf down in front of Cedric.
It's gonna sniff him some more, and it's going to instead limp over to Clem and sit down.
Oh, okay. Well, if you like Clem better. I'm sorry, Cedric. He is just not your type.
Honestly, that's fine.
So I'll walk over to Edma and just go, okay, you toss Davi up, but you have to promise to catch Davi.
Okay. I'm gonna pick you up by your arm. I'm just gonna kind of put my back to it, toss you up like a father would toss up a child.
All right, Davi, give me a quick dexterity saving throw to land on your feet.
So, alright. Let's see. Do I need to make any kind of saves? Or am I just talking?
No, you're actually a bit taller than the fence, so getting him over is not the hard part for you.
Oh, I could just lift you up.
Oh yeah. Well, it's
Well,
fine. We'll
I mean, the problem about just doing this is that the crystal is fairly thick.
yeah.
So if you don't want to touch it, you'd really have to be like,
I thought you were just throwing him up to look over, not to go over.
No, that's fine. I'll go with this. 23.
23? So, So to be clear, if you didn't want to actually throw him over, we can go back if I just misunderstood.
Oh, okay. Well, no, what we were trying to do is she was going to throw me up so I could get a better view of what's going on. To see, like, up and
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, no, you can just hold him up.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
Edma can see over this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sick. I'm just gonna put you on my shoulder.
Actually,
All right.
Javi, you're the only one who can't see over this. To everyone else, it's up to their chest.
Oh.
Except Edma, it's a little more towards the midriff. With Davi now able to see, you all see at this point, beyond this, the entire grove has been crystallized. The ground, the trees, what few animals you see scurrying about, all of
Oh,
it is crystal.
how do we get into the middle of that?
Carefully.
And as you stare across this expanse, you hear like a voice on the wind itself simply say, "Go away."
Oh,
Oh,
And we're going to
boy.
end the session there.
Cool.
Crazy.